Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Blood and Sand, where there's no sand, but there's probably going to be a lot of blood. Where we last left off our wonderful miscreant party. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spook! What happened last week?
Why am I number one?
Like you were ever complaining about being number one.
Last session, we begin going into the Underdark. There are patches of bioluminescence.
You can copy my work, but change it so it doesn't look the same, okay?
Last episode, we begin going into the Underdark. It's just accent that changes it for me. I don't remember what the hell happened last time. Let's have a look. What the fuck did we get up to? I remember the bit with the black dragon. I remember the bit where I saved somebody and everybody hated me for it.
Yeah, that was before the dragon.
Yeah, which I still...
The dragon kind of made that a moot point.
Yeah, well, when we went to the Underdark, in fact, we spotted the Shriekers as well.
Spotted the Shriekers, a stealth ahead, and then a guy appeared in Looper fashion.
Yeah, actually.
Bound and gagged, and I jumped in, spent a lot of spells to save him. We then carried him through the Underdark. He was a drow. He told us that he'd come from a city, but he didn't know whereabouts it was in relation to where we were. Then, as we moved further ahead, we decided not to follow the Shriekers. We decided to follow a path that led towards where the Shadow Dragon was holding out. It found us. It then attacked us. It killed our friend. Not friend. New person. We managed to run through a small hot gates type scenario, 300 style, and then I can't remember how the hell we got to the current bit that we're at.
We just kept walking because we wanted to find a place to rest, but we were because we're in a tunnel, we weren't sure if something horrible might come down the tunnel after us.
So we were looking for a...
So we were if we can find a dead end that we can rest in, that would be great.
Well, not even a dead end, just a bit off to the side.
Yeah, and as we continued down this tunnel, we heard voices that only one of us understood.
I think Grunt might have found a dead end.
Dead in the literal term. So, Grunt proceeded to hear the discussions of two Underdark denizen-style giants. These are Fomorians. Cursed giants who once were touched of Fae, and are now known for having great deals of mutations and bulbous parts to shoulders and growths and spurts, but always, notoriously, they have a single eye which is far more engorged and pustule than the other, and from it they performed, both of them, a mad gaze upon, an evil eye gaze upon Grunt. Grunt succeeded her con saves, so thankfully she did not take a great deal of pain and suffering, but she did still take a lot of pain and suffering, just not as much as she should have. And that, as you stare down the sights of that those two great terrible monsters, as there's also a hill giant and an Etin here, seeming to serve as some sort of perimeter guard. As the combat seems to be beginning, I would like everyone to roll initiative, ladies and gentlemen. Is fine.
Also, it's Kevin, the Eternal One.
You die first.
Yay.
He's not there.
I'll make my way fucking down after it.
Considering
Oh, wow.
Oh, Jesus. Wow.
Writing.
Hope you're all happy, because you're all gonna get to go first, unless you roll like dog shit.
That's pretty nice.
I get
So does the Hill Giant not get a turn?
You do, because so long as you rage, you do. Both Buckley and Shimmer, you can probably hear somebody go, shit! And, rush for combat. So I'll say you guys are definitely going to be acting on combat initiative.
I mean, the reason I put those little mask marks on was just to remind us a week later that me and Alistair are technically stealth, because we haven't done or said anything.
Yes, you haven't. You've
Which
just...
was part of the reason I went forward, because they noticed something. So somebody had to come up.
How confident are you, Grunt?
I mean, Grunt's always confident. That doesn't really mean anything.
Well, you say that.
So, Alistair, you have just seen two beams. Only one you can only see like the corner of a person or a large, tall figure. You can tell it's something large anyway because Grunt's neck strains as she looks back up at these things. And two beams, one from her front and left, and one from almost her direct right, slam into her. And you see Grunt hit the wall behind her, but like trying to like stumble and steady herself. And there's this like nasty energy that is coming off her. It's almost like the psychic damage of it actually is almost seeping off of her like steam and out of her ears and nose. And it's ow.
I got like the blood coming out my nose thing.
You don't have. Well, you would, but it's currently steam. So.
So
I just had a dragon breathe down my back, and that hurt.
Yeah, that hurt. You're being hurt a lot.
I raged if I didn't say it.
Yes, you did because you had to roll twice. Alistair, what are you doing?
Okay, well. I know what I want to do. Hang on a sec. I'm going to move forward to about here, 10, 20, and
okay.
I can still just about see that, can't I? Yeah, I can see it all there. Can I draw a shape? Yes, I can.
Sorry, what one are you trying to see? You're very quiet right now, Spook. Just
sorry, the microphone's a bit far away. There, I'm going to cast Fog Cloud. My good old saving grace smokescreen.
That almost got us killed.
No, it almost got some of you killed.
One time.
It's been consistently helpful. Just some things have blind sense. You cast out your fog cloud. You just watch as like from his one eye that always swirls, you just see like steam and mist begin erupting from it. Delmar, as you're the only one nearby, and it just pours out, and it just across the ground like a serpent just moves forward and begins filling up that entire space.
Yeah,
so currently
touch wall to wall, but squares.
Yeah, we'll say it is touching wall to wall. It's basically just obscuring the.
It does say sphere, so it would.
Oh yeah, it's just easier to draw squares.
Yeah,
we'll just do it that.
Yeah, there you go. It's a 40-foot diameter, so.
Yeah, you're definitely hitting it. So currently you have misted up every. Is that your turn?
Buckley, what's your dex?
3.
That is my action
plus
to do
3.
so. Let me just check. There's nothing else that I can really do.
I think he's got a higher dex than you do.
I've got 16.
Yeah. Buckley's got a plus 3, you've got a plus 2, so yeah, he's gonna go first.
I've got a plus 3.
20,
oh, you do?
30. Yeah, 16 is
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my mistake. I was looking at Grant. For some reason I thought that was...
Yeah, just remember guys, this map is 10 foot per square. So I'm going to move forward 3 squares, 30 feet, and that is my turn.
I'm not sure it is because of how all the tokens are scaled.
Yeah, the thing is, like...
It's a big map.
If I remember right, we were talking about like trying to just treat it as if it's 5 squares for the sake of ease, even though the meterage says it's that. I can actually change that real quick. Yeah. It'll just make everything a lot easier
because if the squares are 10 foot, then all of these tokens need to be halved in size because a giant is not 6 squares big.
Okay, it should now be all under 5 square, 10 foot. There you go. So Spook,
nice.
You were here. You can move up much further then. And for the sake of ease, then, if someone could give me by our powers combined help, and I'll increase the size of the fog.
Oh, snap to corner. So it's from. It's 40 foot, so it's that much.
Nice. It's a great deal of coverage you have now provided.
That's a bit more like it. I remember looking at it and thinking I could have sworn fog cloud was bigger than that.
Yeah, I remember. I was trying to remember what we ruled for our previous map on this, but I'll say for this one, because there's a lot, it'll be just like 5 foot squares, like we did Theater of the Mind with the other space with the.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right, that's your turn, Grunt.
Me or Buckley first?
Have you both got the same dexterity value,
Yes,
like
yeah.
+3? Sorry, I just wanted to confirm that.
It's between you two then. You two just who wants to go
Yeah,
first.
you can just decide who goes first.
I mean,
You go first?
Mm.
Okay.
yeah, because I mean, I'm just gonna be running.
Okay. I I assume our Swamp Ranger is still.
The Swamp Ranger is behind you currently, ducked down low and moved forward.
Okay.
Shadow, Mr.
Well, just as the fog goes up, I'd like him to flip the bird, and I am going to. I'll throw the hook.
At whom?
It's foggy now, so I'll probably.
This will be at disadvantage.
So, what was the range on the hook? I've got this written down. 20 feet, so I can hit the guy, either of them.
Regardless, it will be at disadvantage because of the fog cloud.
Yeah. So I'll do the one to the right of me.
Okay, make your attack roll disadvantage.
12.
That's
Well,
unfortunate.
So it's just 14.
not.
If it hits.
Yeah, no, a total of 12 unfortunately does not hit. You throw out your hook, but it's between the fog cloud and your arms are still shaking, like just in shock, and you're not accustomed to being hit so hard. You do go to shock. That you just like throw the hook out, and it just like swings back up into your grip. Then.
Yep, I was just doing that to sort of piss them off, and then I run backwards 40 feet
Okay, very important.
into an ambush, hopefully.
Well, you did one attack, so I could say you could pick up Alistair and walk with him if you wanted, for his sake.
I'm sure you're fine.
Do I even do it?
I'm sure you're fine.
You could attempt to grapple with one of your attacks. You still have another attack.
Sure, but do I even see him? He's stealth.
Well, you walked past him earlier. I wouldn't be surprised if you would
he's
see
stealth
him.
from them.
He's stealth from them because of the fog cloud and everything, but it's
I can take the front.
a human. It's a human. Okay, no, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was trying to say human-sized.
Oh,
Right, fine. Fuck you. You're staying there.
okay, you can stay there.
I'll be alright.
All right, Buckley.
I'll be alright.
I'm sure you probably will do. I'm just wondering what to do.
Get a dash.
That's not currently equipped. Twang.
There we go. Oh, what's up, guys?
The only disadvantage about heavy armor. What I miss?
What did I miss?
Where's the snarky one?
He's going up in 2 turns.
Then, as a bonus action, do a healing word at 4th level.
And the word is the fuck.
Yeah, I've got the look on my face of I smelled something really bad and I have no idea where it came.
And that's everybody.
7 HP.
Or,
Who does that hit?
To be fair,
everybody 60 feet of me.
That's fine.
I don't know why I'm asking because I'm not hurt. I'm used to just asking now.
Am I hurt? Maybe. Give me time.
That's okay. I had taken a little bit of damage, so.
Okay, so at initiative 10, who's closest to the Fomori? Alistair.
Give me what, sir?
A perception check, please.
Perception check.
Through the fog.
Hearing.
Ah.
I would if it stopped lagging, bitch.
like, who's dying out here?
Ooh. This is a good row.
What are my elven ears?
Your half elven ears here.
My elven ears.
Alistair, you don't know where you're hearing it from. Like, you presume he's further up the tunnels from the other side, perhaps somewhere. You don't really have a good idea of where there's the next tunnels out. But you begin hearing, like, what you know and describe as, like, a whistle. And not like, say, somebody's whistling. It's more like,
A
how do I describe it?
constant noise.
Yeah, it's like the, No, like it's literally like the whistle you'd use over, like, going over the wall, like, like it's literally just a small steel whistle. It's like that kind of a sound to it. The kind of like that kind of sound. You get me?
I was worried it was the sound of like artillery fire before it hits.
Our UAV is online. Oh shit.
I watched the Skaven and Lizardman DLC, guys. There's a nuke in it. I had to put it into this. I'm sorry. Heads up.
It's alright, I'll tank.
But you're hearing you can't take a Skaven. Not even you can take a Skaven nuke. Fuck up.
No, no, that's what I was saying.
So,
I'm good, I'm
from
not
the
that
other
good.
side of the fog.
Yeah, it's basically like a whistling, and it's like it's ringing out through the tunnels from quite a distance.
Okay.
Actually, what language do you speak as well? Real quick, I just want to confirm that. Just give that.
Common.
And Damara, because you. Sorry, I'll ask both of you and Damara, because Damara's got a really high passive. She'll hear something next. Like, it's just whoever closest at initiative 10.
Common, Elvish, Dwarvish, Orcish, Abyssal, and Thieves' Cant.
Thank you.
Alistair speaks everything that I speak, so.
Okay.
Thieves
Do
can't what?
If you hear a language, you don't understand it. Right. That's fine. Damara, you're up. It's just I'm trying to see who has Undercommon, is really.
I'm just gonna sort of look at Alistair and just sort of like shrug because I don't know what we're doing.
It's a free action.
Shrug the free action.
Because Grunt ran in and then Grunt ran out, and Grunt doesn't normally run out, so I'm just sort of like, what are we doing?
I'm very much giving the look of, what the fuck was that?
Grunt is looking like somebody who just got. You know what's probably the best description of how he looks, or she looks right now? She looks like Alistair the first time he got punched to shit by Crumble. It's like, where the fuck did that go?
Okay, I'm just gonna take a step back past Buckley. I'm just gonna sort of squeeze past to there, and then I will hold my action to dash if we are indeed retreating.
Can't hold your movement.
I'm holding my action to dash.
Okay, so you'd get 30 move, or
Yeah.
whatever your movement speed
Yeah.
is, you get that portion.
I know the rules.
I just make
I'm
it's
holding-
something that doesn't happen often.
I said
How
I'm
often do
holding
you
my
guys
action
run?
to dash.
How often do you guys run? That's not something I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, neither am I. That's why I'm doing this. So yeah, I'm
Gemmer.
a whole match.
It's alright, guys. Grunt has had a plan. She's
Um,
luring them into this awesome ambush she set up.
Why am I
I'm going to move there and hold my action to fireball something.
Fireball or bolt?
Ball, obviously,
This is a very small corridor.
and it's a very big fireball.
I'm
I like the way you
guaranteed to
think.
hit.
Exactly.
It's a target-rich environment.
Now you got it.
Alright, I've lured the giants into
Alistair,
this very
just
narrow
see,
corridor
like,
where there's
The
two stealth
giant
guys. This will
is
go
coming out, sweeping around trying to see like where the fuck the last person who was there is. And while the token isn't descriptive, he's poking his head out of the fog.
I am stealth.
And he's poking that eye out of the fog.
You can probably see me, fair enough.
What
How good
my
was your
I
stealth?
don't remember what the stealth roll was.
This was a while back. Balls. If that's
No,
not
don't
stealth-
look it up. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. What would be because you have cast spells and things as well to consider. Just give me another stealth check.
Okay. Just a straight roll.
Oh, I just found it as well.
It's really slow today.
He sees you with his +8.
Shh, it's this golden eye. Give it away.
Speaking of the golden eye, he's going to give you his golden eye.
Ironically, that was what you rolled on stealth. I rolled a crit.
Yeah.
You're fine. Make a charisma saving throw.
Yeah, boy.
Oof.
Ow.
That was a bad roll. Good God.
That's a very bad roll. I have to look up the rules. Okay, so you guys who are looking watch as Alistair magically deform.
Ooh.
Your movement speed is halved. You have disadvantage on all ability checks, saving throws, and attacks based on strength or dexterity. You may repeat this save at the end of a long rest, or when a restoration spell is used. You also take 35 points of psychic damage.
I got that bit.
That's pretty shit.
That is
You
pretty
roll
bad.
very low, in fairness. That was second to a natural 1, so yeah.
I rolled a 2.
Okay, the Etten is going to stay where it is because it's like, hey, I know, I'm going to make sure no one can run past me because I'm smart. I'm a smart boy. That's clearly what they're trying to do. They're trying to run past. Let's see, and the other... Yeah, no, he basically just can't get past them, so he's just going to wait. And right now it's a bit of a stalemate while the Fomorian is just looking at you. Hill Giant... Hill Giant doesn't even care. He's just like, the big guy's guy. And just like sits the fuck back.
You can't fucking see anything. It's like, oh, I guess it's foggy now.
I guess it does turn
Does he
now.
actually even get a turn because he has a 0?
This is zero initiative.
Narrow in. How many turns would you have all lost if you guys rolled natural ones? And
It's true.
None, he's got a +3.
You never would have rolled a 0.
Alistair,
Hello.
that's unfortunate.
Why are you frantically looking through the player's handbook?
I realised I didn't actually write something down for this, but it's alright. It's really slow today.
It's just because there's a lot going on.
It's a big ass map, unfortunate.
It is your turn. Is now the time to be doing that?
Oh, sorry, we're back. Oh.
Yeah, it's
okay,
your
there's
turn.
a lot of people
It's your
that go.
turn.
Okay.
The Hill Giant and other Fomorian can't really do anything right now because the big bastards in the...
Shoot him in the fucking eye.
Meanwhile, Grunt's like, oh, I thought Alistair was behind me. Whoops.
Yeah, her bounds are so big. She basically just like kind of almost like do like, you know, like when people do that run and they're like off the ground for a good like 2 to 3. Yeah, that's
I think
what.
that's why barbarians get further speed a lot of the time.
Yeah, boing, boing, fucking boing.
They
You just
don't
boinged
know-
over him.
you know,
Didn't even notice he was
round
there.
so hard,
Just
You're right. What are you trying to check? You look confused.
Yeah, that's right.
Ah.
If he's going to give me a look, I'm going to give him a look. I'm going to attempt to use my Fey presence on him and to charm him.
it's a wisdom save, is it?
16. DC 16 wisdom saving throw.
No, he is charmed.
Nice.
The look
And then I'm also going
of
to
love.
drop the fog cloud.
Fog cloud drops, and you just see like he's looking down at you with this malevolent glare, and before he like double blinks and then triple blinks with his big eye, and then just turns around looking at the other.
I give him a wink. With my newly deformed face. And then I shall... I'm alright for a bit, actually. I will not use any of my bonus action stuff. I will...
I'm guessing it's not advisable we attack that one.
Not currently. I'm just going to take a small step back. Just
Small
in
step
case.
back.
Just so I'm not within melee range. if someone
Buckley
reaches
and
through.
Grunt. What do you guys do?
Yeah, first of all, do I know that this thing's charmed? I've seen this effect before. Will I know anyone?
You've seen Alistair use his Fey presence before from his pact. So yes, you
I
are
know
aware
this
that
thing.
he's either made this thing afraid of him or charmed. Regardless, you know that hitting them right now is not a good.
Okay. Buckley, you want to go first, or up to you?
Go ahead.
Can I move past Alistair, or is it
Yeah,
too...
yeah. You bounced over him before. You can do it again, boy.
He just
I am
he
the
just has-
smallest person in the
He
party.
just has to crouch. You can just walk over the top.
I am the smallest person in the party.
He's the shortest one here.
Really? I thought Dell was, but anyway.
No, I'm taller than Alistair.
No, Dale's taller.
Alistair's
Yeah.
the shortest.
It's a kicking back scene of
Does that
no,
mean-
bitch, I'm
I'm supposed
taller.
to be
Get
tall,
off.
damn it! Everybody's bigger than me.
So what you're saying is that Spook is the babby.
I'll just go up there, bag my shield, and yell out cowards and jump.
Okay, and Buckley, what do you do?
I'm going to Walk up here. Look at Alistair go. Oh, fuck. And give him a lesser restoration.
Hey.
Lesser restoration. Evil eyes effects are now gone.
Hey!
Oh, my beautiful face.
He is, as always, now far more attractive.
Now you look slightly less like Shrek.
Well,
What
somebody
are you
once told
doing?
me.
In my
What are you
Underdark!
doing in my swamp?
Oh, probably less like Quaz, I think, probably.
Is that all you want?
And then a bonus action healing word on myself.
Let's let this Fomorian clear a path for us, and then we'll.
Yeah, let's hang
Enter.
back.
Yeah.
I kind of want the heavy hitters to be getting in first.
Okay,
So that's
that healing word goes out. Delmara.
Okay, since people are pushing back.
Oh, sorry, real quick. Alistair, you're healed this. Grunt, you'll hear this in your language because something is actually shouted in Giant.
Me.
And Delmara, with your perception. Yeah, and you as well. You speak.
No,
You
I
speak-
was telling the
Speak
healing
exactly
word
as
for
well.
me.
Sorry, okay. You hear you just hear like somebody is just screaming, sorry, it's not in Giant, but you're just hearing something is just bellowing out in the distance behind the Etin. Like, something is down that tunnel, and it sounds like it's getting close, but there's still that whistle. And both sounds are coming closer, but the sound of the shouting is not what you're hearing. And it's just like this. It's less like, something is shouting like a language. It's just like incandescent, jarbled. "Rah!"
Something's just
Do I
jumping.
recognise it as the sound of rage out of curiosity? I've probably heard it a lot with my dad.
Make an intelligence check.
Surprisingly not as bad as you'd think I am at that.
No, you're not. That's why I'm making you do it.
Nope.
Somebody shouting.
Hey.
Alright, Delmara?
Yeah, so because people are starting to push forward again, I will come forward. I will stand behind Buckley.
Just a conga line behind the fucking Fomor.
Yeah, and
Conga,
once again,
conga.
I will hold. This time I will hold an action to throw a knife if I see the aggressive Fomorian.
Cool. Shimmer. Oh, Shimmer as well, because you held Fireball, and it went around to your turn and you didn't use it, that slot is gone. That's how that works.
Alright.
That's how holding a spell works. Because you are casting it, you are like doing the incantation, you're just holding it. But when it gets to your next turn, if you don't use it, it's gone.
I did
Well, you
not
could
know
still
that.
throw it now, like before your turn start.
She'd be like, waste not, what not?
What is the
Blast
range
the
on
hole.
that?
What is the range on fire?
Because David directly on Alistair.
You could shoot
Yeah,
through
with
the
the ring.
Fomorian's legs if you wanted, and it's locked.
You can definitely hit the others and not hit it.
Yeah, you could do. Yeah, you could definitely do that.
Yeah, 150 feet. Yeah, I got plenty of range. Yeah, I'll move up and...
Well, if you have to move, you can't because it's.
I'll be generous with it. It's him. He's basically holding it since last turn. It's like you don't get an action now, but you'll be capped.
Seems cool.
I don't remember how to dang do this.
You press the
Explain what
button.
you want to try and do.
Stop doing that.
There.
Oh, okay, yeah, hang on. So basically, that's like what? It's 30 feet from there. So yeah, you'd miss him. You would hit the side of this, and you would hit that. And he's actually prone because he's sitting down. So technically, he has disadvantage on the save, as if he wasn't fucked enough as being a fucking hill giant.
You might as well just say he takes full damage. Is there any
I thought
way you
said-
can save
I
it?
thought it's advantage on range attack. Oh wait, prone because it's a dex.
Prone
saving
for
throw.
prone for deck saves.
Yep.
Alright.
So Shimmer, you do it.
Just casting normally.
fireball! Bah! Bah!
That's 39 damage.
That's a yes.
I'm always checking for co-op.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
he definitely fucked.
Yeah, giants aren't known for their dexterity.
There's all the hair that's on the back
The
of his
Etten rolled a 0!
Jesus Christ.
Etten rolls
Oh god, and the Fomorian. Hang on! It's a fucking. Look
Oh
at
my days.
it!
Jesus Christ.
It's funny when big guys get. So that's 39 points of fire damage to all of them. Basically, it's boom, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, boom. Shimmer has arrived.
This is why we bring Shimmer everywhere.
Hey, he's more than just a fireball. Sometimes he teleports somebody to rip a wing off a dragon.
Yeah.
So- Okay,
Counter
so
spells and
Shimmer,
saves my
that's your turn.
sorry.
You
I
have just-
moved. I blew something up. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so now it's the charmed Fomorian's turn. You watch, he just runs up here. He's gonna grab the other Fomorian, and he just throws him, like literally just like bodily throws him over here with himself. Moves over to here, and is going to use a club attack on.
Oh, Fred! Fred, what are you doing? Oh, no, God, Fred! Ah, fuck!
Grunt, you speak giant. You hear, Chad, what the fuck?
I was close to Fred.
The Etten is now very nervous and is definitely going to stay here.
It is the giant version of the name Ted, it's Toad.
Toad.
Yeah, right.
The other giant is now very confused and upset and is going to hit his friend.
If this Fomorian wasn't deformed before, it sure is now.
What's happening right now is just bonk, 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 bonk.
I
Basically,
know,
like
it was one of my
stooges right
favorite
now.
games as a kid.
Bonk.
This hill giant is now also annoyed and is going to stomp over to here and is going to give 2 great clubs to the face of this Fomorian. Oof.
Hey, Peppa Pal Clam! You know what time it is? It's bonky time! Bonk!
Alistair, it's your turn, my dear boy.
Yeah, boy. What to do, what to do?
Today we Nick Cross.
Okay. Let's just act on impulse.
So that charm stays even though he was smacked in the face a bunch of times?
He has to be attacked by one of the person who casts it on allies.
Gotcha.
Critical Role, they had no real way in one of the recent episodes to get rid of it, aside from like the friend trying to beat the sense out of him. So it was being let happen there, but here it's like, nah, it's not. This
Not
house
that
kitty.
clever.
Alistair, you're up.
I am going to... Yes, I did take it. I knew this spell would come in handy.
Expeditious Retreat. That is a bonus action to cast, and it allows you to, when you cast it, also do the damage.
Yep. So I can then move 60 feet, so I can move up to there.
Yes, you can do.
And currently he is still charmed until the end of my turn, so I get flanking on this.
Yes, you do.
And I'm going to go with the good old sword and board. Please, turn to advantage, thank you. Scroll wheel is slow.
The game is lagging.
I know, it's just like, I have a big list of shit.
There's so much shit on the screen.
Sword of Krill and the Rethian, there we go.
With advantage, does this mean you get to roll again? Or is that only with ranged weapons?
No, it's with anything with strength, dexterity. I forget now. Hang on.
Yeah,
Do check it, because it could-
Elven accuracy is anything that is Dex, Intelligence, and Charisma
Dex,
based.
int, wisdom, or
Oh,
charisma.
wisdom.
So it's not strength, and this is
Okay,
technically a
so-
strength based.
It is the 22, or sorry, it's 22 to hit, and that's 12 down.
And then I get the second strike. That's a big number. And then we also do my other bullshit of Colossus Slayer and Sneak Attack.
Nice.
I would ask if these are monstrosities, but I know they're not.
No, they're not.
They're
Just
giants.
because, yeah, I know. It's worth an ask.
Nice. That's a nice bit of damage.
22
Grunt.
plus 6, 28.
I think I have to re-rage because I didn't attack last turn and I didn't.
You
get hit.
attacked the turn before that,
No.
so you basically get like one turn. It's one turn of it. So basically, you raged, attacked, and then moved away, and then for one turn you weren't attacking, which was last turn.
So
You have to attack now, or at the end of this turn it drops. And how does it work?
Okay.
This is the cue for other people to join me in the kill box.
Yes, we get it! I'm sorry, there's a queue!
You are in a
Well,
queue.
that matters for you, Del.
Your attack is important to us.
The Fomorian's dropped its charm.
Does that mean I'm a line jumper?
It has now, yeah.
You're a queue jumper.
The Fomorian, it's at the end of your, like, that turn. That's it. The Fomorian's no longer charmed.
Yep.
Okay. And let's also get rid of this stealthy icon, because you don't need it.
Yeah, I'm no longer stealth.
Definitely
Also,
not.
I'm going to remove it from Del, because we can always just presume no one sees it.
Just replace her token with a black circle.
Replace. I was gonna say.
No, I paid for that art.
John Cena.
Grunt. You don't
I
have to
move
rage
10
again.
feet forward, and I say the magical.
Ooh.
You say hell?
Ah, hell yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
would like to end my rage.
I would like to engage.
Okay, that's
Either way,
two
the
dex
lightning bolt
save.
goes through those two.
He succeeds and he fails. So that was for the first one and then the second one. So he takes only 6. And the javelin then sticks into the guy that Alice was wailing on and takes total. That's your turn?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, you made an attack, your rage is still up. Buckley, my dear boy.
I'm going
My
to.
boy.
Scoot past Grunt, maybe.
Careful of your health.
And I'm gonna point at both Warriors. Go. Have a fun time later, fuckfaces. And cast a banish. Hey.
There it
Signature
is.
spell number 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast that at 8.
Right, to the GM there with both of you. Be gone! Is that your turn, Buckley?
You cast it at a high
And-
level.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because I cast it at 5th because I was like,
I
well.
killed it! It disappeared in a flourish of
And then
magic!
Buckley's just standing there with like a little bit of smoke coming off his hand.
Yeah, just like.
yeah, you know, just basically a double, like, fuck off, my kids!
I suppose hell drops to the ground.
Yeah, hell just goes ding, 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 ding.
And
Okay, so
then-
now it's only
Healing
and Etin who seems confident he's holding like the place that you can't run through, and it's just a very unfortunate hill giant here. Is that your turn?
in a bonus section, healing word.
Who are you doing that on?
Myself!
Cool. So, at the end of Buckley's turn, on initiative 10, you guys begin hearing that sound, that shouting noise again. And you begin hearing, "Oh!" from the Etin, as you just see it begins to be lifted up. And you just see it get suplexed and snaps back. And as it does, you see a very distinct, disgusting form, feral almost in its design, with a
John
war
Cena?
pick in hand.
Gatebreaker?
You see Nosdo Gatebreaker having just fucking suplexed the Etin.
What? Wait,
Back to
what?
his feet.
Yes!
What?
Fuck.
I
He's
can't
not
talk.
in armor.
Oh, there we
He's
go.
rags with broken chains.
Ah!
What?
Yes, I knew it!
Shut up, the fuck you did.
He'd never go to the Underdark, it must be an imposter, kill him first!
Okay,
Yes,
you
yes.
What the
Kill the
fuck?
dwarf.
What the fuck is he doing here?
So, Nosdo, it's your
It's-
turn, my dear boy. What would you like to
I know it's not my turn, but can I just say Grunt's got tears in her eyes? She's just so proud.
I stabbed this motherfucker twice!
Okay, you see this like battered up war pick he has in his hands, and go ahead and stab him.
Right.
The
Don't
from-
fucking miss.
My character.
How
There
you
we go.
fucking missed on the first swing?
it's with advantage because you did just suplex it.
Oh shit,
Tell
I
you
enjoyed
what,
it.
it's a good thing I realised what happens because Stanchi doesn't have permission to speak in this channel, so I very quickly had to type in permissions.
comes into the challenge and just goes,
I was like, oh shit! Fuck!
Thank you, Blue.
I was, when I say no, I didn't know, but I was just something about it. I was like, oh come on, please be
I
Gatebreaker.
had a feeling he's probably gonna come back because he's been wanting to play D&D and he hasn't had his fix for a while.
So good.
You got a
That
taste
does
for
hit.
it. You got a taste for it last week when we did a one shot.
there's no words or
No,
anything, it's just
no,
positive.
Blue.
Plus 9.
We've been trying to get back since this episode of Blood and Sand. He messaged me directly after it, like the one we just had. The one. He's like,
Nice.
please let me come back.
I have to wait a month.
Alright, Sanji, that hits. You have a second attack. Go again.
Here's
You're just
back.
watching as Nazu with this war pick. It just batters both heads of the Etnin, and it's still alive, but you're just beating the shit out.
Oh yeah. Add +4 to that damage.
Yes. I will.
Oh my god, he's leveled up so much since we last saw him.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
to sort out. Give me a second.
Oh, it's not like you've had a month.
No,
Your
no.
attacks
To give you
don't
guys an
count.
idea, I didn't want him to come on just in case, because Blue often comes on or you come on to look at stuff. I didn't want you guys just seeing Michael B and going, "Ooh, what the fuck?"
Who dis?
Who that?
Del,
Number who this?
Del, you have heard the very recognizable "Ah!" of
Yeah.
Nacho Gay.
There's just the moment of
What?
what? And then it's like
He's a cool fighter,
there's
wasn't
no
he?
time for questions. So I'm
I look very unintimidating as I'm just looking like a mother who's just seen a child for the first time in months. Like, oh, he's back.
So I'm
Ah,
gonna
Tim
Plugs
Campbell.
to that in.
and shit. What do I do?
Woo!
I will use a bonus action to use my shadow sneak to get behind this giant here.
I was gonna say, please go behind the Etten and take the kill from Sanji.
No, I'm leaving it. I'm not. I'm.
You.
But literally, there was a pause where I looked at the map and went, I could just attack that one because I'd get sneak attack. But no, I'm gonna use shadow step to get behind this one, which will give me advantage, which will give me my sneak attack.
She poofs
go
on
ahead.
top of the Etin like fucking Nightcrawler, takes the kill and then disappears again. And I was just like, ah!
Fucking
I'm waiting.
cave we're in just starts rumbling, just ah!
She just appears, shanks him, and then she just goes, "I let's do," and then vanishes again.
Start stabbing something else.
Oh, I forgot! On Nazo's thing, he's got a Del as a bitch kill count.
How many kills I've stolen?
Oh, I miss you, Stanji.
Oh god.
Stanji as well, I've updated your health, but nothing else.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm doing it now.
Cool. Del, is that your... Have you done your...
There you go.
Yes, she fucking has. Oof.
The game is being a bit laggy, so it takes a couple of seconds to turn
It's a
up.
big map!
Yeah, I know.
Very big map. Well, you just did half of his remaining health in one shot, so well done.
That's my
Isn't
turn.
that- You get him in the ankle, and you just tear that tendon, and you just see blood pooling at your feet. Shimmer.
Just poof into the air and then let gravity do the work.
True.
Move 30 feet. I can't really see anybody from there.
You can tell Nazdo is getting out a lot of pent-up rage right now.
There we go.
Oh, look at that little Polish.
He's back, baby!
The squad is
Oh,
back!
Yeah, I'm done.
The
Not gonna do
OG
that?
squad is
Okay.
back!
Okay, the Fomorians are banished, so now it's the Etten's turn.
I know what the name of this episode is then. 2.5 Men again.
2.5 men.
I'm no longer the smallest in the party!
I know! You guys were talking about being the shortest in the party and being the biggest baba, and it's like, oh, just wait, just give me an hour, just give me an hour.
You
Aww.
might not be the shortest, but you're still smallest by pure mass.
Okay, so the Etten is going to swing at you with a battle axe in one hand and a morning star in the other. That's a 9 to hit.
Nope.
Like, fuck.
Oh god.
And the Morningstar, when it loads... Morningstar is 24 to hit.
Yeah. I'm naked.
You take already reduced 14 points, or you take 14 reduced to 7 points of piercing damage.
Wow, it is quite convenient. Do we have a set of armor ready for?
Yeah, that's right, bitch. I'm multi-classed, you prick. What are you looking at?
Wait!
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Barbarian? With the armor, Nosdo?
I don't have any armor at the moment.
Yeah, and you can armor barbarians. You don't have to go.
Yeah, there is the axe idiot.
The dwarf exclusive barbarian!
It's all coming full circle. Future! Future!
I gotta say it was
Fucking blood just coming down everybody's nose.
I gotta say it was very funny to look at you and see the puzzle turning into dawning realization.
Right. Getting swung as 2 shots.
Can you open the window, please?
It's now the Hill Giant's turn. He just got stabbed in the shin, so he's gonna swing 2 great club swings at you, Deb.
Yeah, that's fair.
You have Displacer, so until he hits you,
Disadvantage. Yeah.
once it loads.
Oh no, the 15.
Yeah, I guess that hits.
Oh no, the 15, yeah, it's fine.
Second attack. When it loads.
Dash clicks it a few
You
times,
can't
and about
handle
7
epic
attacks just load up.
Oh, by the way, this was a multi-classing barbarian fighter Hill Giant, so he gets to make all.
That's how giants are when Nosdo turns up. Why won't you die?
I don't think a 17 hits you, Del.
No, it doesn't.
Fucking rogue tank. I still remember the day where it's 2 Hill Giants playing ping pong with Nosdo. It's like, we're hitting him and it's not doing anything!
Nosdo, the giant slayer.
Giant Slayer!
Nosdo Chainbreaker right now. Because
Okay.
he is ankled and arms have shattered chains to manacles on them. On the
I have a
wrists.
loincloth.
He has a loincloth and he's basically got the Skyrim starting stuff, like what you wear when you're like the sacks, basically.
Cool. Alright, my turn.
And his beautifully, usually quite kept beard is very unkept. And he's very dirty and very clearly fed up.
You're not getting my point.
It is back to you. Sorry, I'll circle it.
Ugh.
Back to me.
Yep, to you.
Right, I'm going to change my sword into a bow, and I'm gonna yeet my fucking magic shield to Nosdo.
Shield!
Which a barbarian can use.
Yes,
And
I
it
can.
is a +1 kite shield, so it will add 3 to whatever your current AC is.
So his
That'll
AC
put
is
me
now
up to 20.
is now 20.
You're naked and you have a 20?
Yeah,
He really doesn't need plate, in fairness.
I want it now.
Fuck!
You guys remember why I had flashbacks of this fucking character, yeah? No matter what you did, he's a brick.
It's
gonna
just
move
the.
to
Oi! I held
the
on
thing
to this
is-
for you!
I literally did.
The thing is that I have 2 more than him, but that's because of my fucking domain.
Right.
He
bow-
literally has the same armor class as me.
And you're in place!
Without armor! What the fuck, Nosdo?
What can I say? Helldwarf.
Alright.
Party bastard. Oh god. By the way, guys, he has the highest health of anyone in the party.
That's also
Oh.
Yeah,
surprising.
that's
Damn.
alright.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Fuck?
How
That's
many
impressive.
levels has it been? It's
I
probably
mean, I
been...
did just get 12 plus 5 as a last barbarian level.
That's what I
Plus
mean.
5.
Grunt's solid barbarian and he has more health than her.
Plus
That's
5.
impressive. Anyway,
Nosdo is a hill dwarf with very high con, the tough feet, and a level in barbarian, so he gets a 12 plus con.
Yeah.
ooh,
Who
ooh.
are you aiming at?
I'm aiming at the one by Dell. Because there's about
Dead.
to be more populated stuff going
Yeah,
on
the
there.
stuff's gonna reappear in the middle soon.
Yeah, that's very dead. And they'll appear in a minute, like literally a minute, so you guys have 9 turns to kick the shit out of a netting. So I have to ask,
Yeah.
does anyone
no,
want to attack the Etin, or are you just going to let Nazda get his anger out?
There is a thing I want to do. I'm going to. Can I dash up to Nuzdo? Do I have?
Yeah, you would.
Probably.
Yeah, you could. You could definitely dash up. Yeah.
Hug.
2
Okay,
tons
and then-
of tits.
I don't hug him. I just offer him my warhammer.
Aw.
Aww.
Fuck this! Yes!
Fuck this shit!
Wait. Which hammer are you handing him?
Just
You have a few.
regular warhammer.
I was gonna say, because you've got another one and you're fucking. Don't give him that one, please God! I'm scared enough giving that to you!
What's the damage?
Oh yeah, because that other one.
I
Yeah.
wanna do it so badly.
Is the Warhammer 112 or 110? Or 1d8?
Warhammer is 1d8 or 1d10, depending on 100 or 2.
Well, it's going to be 1d8 at the moment, yeah. Cool.
You said you had a rubbish pick of some description.
Buckley.
It was improvised, but I'm proficient with improvised.
Yeah.
Hill Giant now dead in front of
Proficient
me.
with improvise is fucking broken.
See, got the banishment there. Ooh.
Ooh. Fucking
So, since I know where the Fomorians are supposed to be coming back in at, I'm going to take. Let's see here. What do I have? I guess I'll just use some gold. I'm just gonna fabricate some nice spikes for the Fomorians whenever they get back.
What's the fucking Pokemon move?
Which one?
The one where you throw the.
I know the one.
Poison. Poison. Or no.
Stealth Rock?
Stealth Rock.
Yeah.
You just cast Stealth Rock, basically.
Basically. Yeah. That's basically, you know.
I'll
just
say.
Pokemon knowledge.
I'll say that that's going to do damage when they land in on top.
I'll use the rocks around, you know, the room.
Yeah, you fabricate the rocks into spikes. Like they all just. Yeah.
Just, you know, fabricate a nice little row.
Is that all you want to do?
Rocks there for it. Yeah.
It's like a spike pit in the middle just waiting for them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that all you want to do, Buckley?
As I slowly die, yeah, that's it.
Welcome back, buddy. It's your turn now.
Ugh.
Kill.
Oh, Jesus
Die.
Christ. That's a plus 10.
Oh, it's an 18. Fuck you, why not a 19?
Oh,
Yeah.
you crit on. Okay, yep.
He's champion still, isn't he?
Champion fighter.
As a
Still
free
a champion.
action, barely audible, I say, by the way, they're following me!
Brett just gives a thumbs up, like, yep.
I'm
It's all
going to
good.
run to the restroom real quick.
Let's see. And your raging damage as well atop that is.
It's already added onto it.
Okay, so that's 18. It's still up, barely, but it's.
This Warhammer has no friend. It wouldn't be me, would it? Bitch!
You don't even see her. There's just like a pause, and the Etin falls over, and there's just Almara behind it, swinging the dagger around, and it's just like, I've missed you.
Oh, by the way, Nazdo, when you see her and the Fomorian's down for a brief second, her eyes are inverse. So, like, say where usually the wide the eyes are black, and the center is
Colour.
No, I know he meant colour.
and
I
it's
thought
brief
you
and then
liked
it
it,
fades
or
after
she
she uses
rolls
the
red.
shadow set. And also, you look at Alistair, and one of his eyes is swirling, and I believe it's gold.
Gold.
Yeah.
Fuck is wrong with you?
And you look at me, and I've got short hair now.
We had a makeover. We went to Specsavers.
Buckley's wearing armour.
Buckley's not a monk.
What the fuck?
Shimmer is...
Yeah, Buckley can heal now, by the way, and cast spells.
Shimmer is still Shimmer.
I don't
Arguably
need healing.
nothing has happened to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he still sets fire to everything.
Yeah,
See, that
so
like's a bad thing.
Yeah,
You
you
have
could
to make
hear the
this
fire
catch
from where you
really
were,
short.
Sandy. You just heard the boom.
Well, I
And the
proceed
sound-
to hit the wall with a warhammer so my rage doesn't go away.
Okay, we
while
don't
we've
have...
got a quick moment while we're getting things are going to attack and all that, can Grunt just kneel down and give him a big?
That's free action. Del, looking up the corridor, you do see at least one drow figure currently with these enormous long chains just in their hand, just like flicking them around, and currently like in the mouth is just a whistle that they've been blowing.
Hey, Grunt, could you do me a favor and snap these on my legs? Thanks.
Drow are coming, I can see them.
When it's my turn, yes. Is it my? Can I do this? What's going on?
It's not your turn currently. Del's had her turn. Shimmer, it's your turn.
Remember, we're going to be rejoined by big friends soon.
Yeah, I know.
That lasts for a minute. That lasts for a minute, or until Buckley drops it.
It gives me an idea.
Gonna double move. And
You're
that
getting
ends
prepped
my
to-
turn.
Yeah.
Okay. Seeing this, seeing you guys, the drow just spits the whistle out and goes, "Fuck this." And he
Bye bye
bolts.
bye.
Oh no, you don't!
I did that! You did no! No!
What?
No!
Oh, okay.
No! No!
Yeah. Nozzle's telling you not to kill something. Alright, that's combat over.
For now.
For now.
For now.
For about
You have-
for about 30 seconds.
No, for good. You have a good.
It's 10 minutes, isn't it?
Oh, is it 10?
Oh, no, minutes.
No, it's a
It's
1 minute.
it's
It's
a
a
minute.
1 minute spell.
So yeah, about 40 seconds maybe.
45 seconds. I'd
45
say.
seconds.
You got about 45 seconds now, down to 42.
I'll still be
proceed-
raging because
You're persistently raging, yeah.
I'll proceed to snap the chains up my legs if I can.
Yeah, make a
oh.
strength check. With advantage, because Grunt's helping you.
I'm going to move over to here.
I pull out my lock picks.
Fucking, they're big chains, okay? It's been a look. I've been chained up in a cage for a long time. I haven't had a meal yet.
Be careful,
Um,
I'm
I
kneeling
go-
down next to him.
I go pick up hell if I can.
you go
Can I
Like,
take
yeah,
a-
how do I go with it?
Yeah, you can get hell, like you just avoid the spikes that have been fabricated.
Mind if I take a shot at those chains?
Uh,
I mean,
I
I've
grabbed by my
I
crotch.
literally
Sure.
just clicked.
oh.
And I need to check if this is.
Oh, never mind.
I need to check if this is. Oh, it's reliable because I'm proficient with it. So that's 18.
It's a simple enough lock. It's something that's made to be like you couldn't get this off by yourself, but you looking at them and you just examining them. Just quick work on the one on the left ankle and on the right, and the ones on the wrist are the exact same. It takes you maybe 12 seconds to take them out. It takes 2 turns to take
Oh.
off 4.
Cute.
And you can see once you do, his wrists are raw, his ankles are raw.
We can stick them chains into Buckley's bag of fabricating.
Yeah, got some raw material for you.
It's like fucking Factoria.
You almost got enough for another middle finger.
Recycle. The possibilities are endless.
Oh yeah, Nasta doesn't know about the middle finger.
What?
Story for another time. We've got about 20 seconds left.
Until what?
Positions around the giants.
Giants are going to reappear in the middle of this room.
What giants? The fuck are you talking about?
There were more giants. Get ready. You got little
Where?
legs, remember?
Probably,
Where
I
we're
ready
all
my
hovering
attack.
around.
probably not far from Buckley, so that you've got a nice
I'll
encapsulating.
stand next door. on this person
Somewhere
and
around
over here.
this area, shall we say.
Area-ish.
Ready?
Basically,
I'm ready in
everything
attack.
underneath where they were is fabricated into spikes. So you presume where the spikes are is where they're.
Presumably,
And I'm
we can hold
over
an
here
attack
where I
action,
shouldn't
and
be
when
safe
they go
from
up, we wail.
Okay, 2 people talk at once. Nemo, say again.
Presumably, we can hold an attack action and
Yes.
then just wail on them.
You could just keep holding an attack, and it's just you holding your attack action, which is 2 attacks for you. And
I won't be
Oh, my
raised by
shield.
the time they get back, but whatever.
I thought
Sorry,
you
you
had
just hit
persistent
me.
rage.
I'll hit you.
Persistent rage is like level 15.
Yeah, ages
Good.
ago.
I was going to say, you two punching each other is the only time I'd say constantly taking damage. Like, you two would actually deal damage to each other, even if you weren't trying to.
Yeah, I think we'd do some serious damage to each other is the problem.
Fuck it, have.
If everybody's ready, I can just go ahead and drop.
Yeah, so we don't have to wait.
Yep,
You
we're
can
ready.
just-
Okay, everyone. He drops it. What do you do because they're real quick? I'm going to make them because they're just literally jumping into spot.
Yeah.
I suppose we just go
Gonna
through
move
the
up and just
initiative order.
stab.
They take 11 points of piercing damage, basically.
Should we just go through the initiative order,
Yeah.
just one by one?
Yeah,
just
go through initiative.
banging them out.
Yeah.
Sound. I'll just go for whoever's the first one.
That would be you.
I mean, first for Maureen, sorry.
Which one goes first? Sorry, is what you mean?
No, he's shooting the one that is in front of him first.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the
Yes.
closest.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go on.
Is this just normal?
Yes. Because they were aware of combat happened. Literally nothing has happened for them in the last minute until they came back. That's a hit.
It's the third
Hell.
29 I've rolled tonight. There's me 2 attacks.
And that also hits.
Colossus Slayer and Sneak Attack. And that's my turn because I'm going to just remain where I am.
That's
Decent numbers.
13. That's 13, 26, 30. Ooh. Okay. Grunt. That one, once he takes the 2 shots, looks very, very difficult. He shoots it, and the momentum makes the Fomorian fall over, and its knees go into the actual spikes as well. And as it's lowering its head down, you just take the hook of returning, shunk, and you just slice straight up through the face.
I hope you like the look of this thing, because I'm going to give it to you when we get a chance to. And you're going to tune.
Another tooth for my collection.
Okay, that's your turn. Buckley, it was a free action to drop the spell, so what do you do?
I'm coming for your shins.
You mean zoom?
Yeah.
Zoom, 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 zoom. Nazdo.
Should nickname the Sunblade the Slade.
I'm not even going to pretend otherwise. You just...
Oh, my boy is back.
That's a 30.
Fucking hell.
That was a terrible damage roll, but
I don't have that modifier to my weapons.
You don't, no, because you're not like him, and he's broke.
There is no one like Nozdo.
I'm aware.
except Mazda.
8 and 10, 18.
I fucking rolled a 1 on the damage. Ah!
Twice.
Mm. Even when he rolls
gonna
so
steal-
negligible, he still hits like a truck. Okay, speaking of hitting like a truck,
Yeah.
It's alright, Nasdaq. We're good at taking it to the face.
Thank you.
I just presume I know what you're gonna do.
Yeah. 1roll20 loads. Dagger and sneak.
I gotta go.
Oh, crit sneak attack!
Ah!
So how much damage was that? That's
A lot.
That's
13. Do you want to do this in any particular way?
With a 59 damage to finish it.
59 points.
You would have had 51 health left.
Ooh.
Oh wow. Literally how I described it before, I shadow sneak halfway up behind it in the air and just knife in the back of the head and then just let gravity pull me down.
Basically, like going down a sail with the knife. Just
Yep.
Basically.
Something
Nosdo
which-
and Buckley, you're the ones who could see this, and Alistair from the side. You just watch as Delmar disappears from where she is and reappears above and from behind the Fomorian. And there's just it's literally just a silhouette, and you just see that keen silver of the steel, the blade, just appearing out. And these two just white piercing pupils emerged out, striking down into the back, driving all the way down the spine. It's just her momentum, because she appeared on through the wall, she kicked herself down, drove the blade, and the Fomorian screams out until it just topples backwards, and its enormity just slams itself into the wall and just kind of pins itself against the wall, and Damara is under its legs. It's not going to move at all, and she just casually steps out of the way.
That was my gift, for fuck's sake. That's 2 more!
Adding to the list.
Well, some things never change, apparently.
No, your bitch ass don't!
And with that, we are out of combat.
So many questions.
I kneel down and start cleaning his face and checking him. Just boo. Start shoving rations into his face.
Oh, please give me food.
Oh, thank
Crow!
God it's somebody else.
I imagine it with it. I imagine with it being Nuzdo, he basically just lets me basically hold him like a nursing child. I just start feeding him and giving him drink and stuff.
Minute. So
are we gonna be here for a while?
Followed. Just so you know, there's quite a few people behind me.
I saw one of them.
I'm gonna check down the corridor.
You check
don't
out
know
the
my
corridor.
Signs, there's a dragon behind us.
Oh, what?
Yeah, probably shouldn't go that way.
I mean, we should go the way I came, just be aware there's people that we need to kill. I say people. Disgusting looking dwarves and elves.
Alistair, make a perception check.
Perception.
What do your elf eye see?
Not much.
You do not hear the sounds of anyone approaching you currently.
Okay, I think we're clear for now.
For now, I think some of our group could do with resting, especially after the dragon.
Yes.
Do you guys have any armor?
Yes, but you need to clean it.
Whatever. Is it heavy? I need heavy armor. No
I
other
hand
will
him
do.
the blood-soaked armor.
Fuck it. Is it plate?
Yes.
I'll take it.
Oh yeah, that on.
That armor.
The armor you weren't sure whether or not you were going to destroy.
Alistair, are you going to want your magic shield back?
No, you can hold on to it.
What do
I was
you
gonna
mean
give him
his?
my
It
shield.
was Nosdo's shield to start with.
Oh, there you go. Do you want my shield then, Alistair?
I don't think Alistair can hold your shield.
It is
cannot hold your
the
shield.
sternum of a dragon.
Thanks for the offer. I'll stick with bow and arrow for a bit until things get a bit dicey. I'm sure I can.
Where did I put down the fucking descriptors
I can probably make you a shield. Just need to get a bit.
Yeah, we'll save it for now. It's not massively urgent. I do better with a bow anyway. I was only doing it before because I had to be up at the front.
Because Nosdo wasn't here.
I'm here now. What did I miss?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot's happened in the last month.
So,
I don't even know if
Dave,
we can necessarily go
But
through
we'll get to
all
that when we can.
We're not okay. Short story is we're not 100% sure about all the dragons. Guanxi is apparently not a bad guy, but someone who's either good or neutral. Crumble's still the main threat. What are you doing in the Underdark?
I was on a ship. I was being made a slave. I'll get to the rest in detail.
How did they manage to catch someone like you?
On a
Because
ship.
I'm not the only one on a ship, and I don't want other people to die. If they had you hostage, I wouldn't stop killing people because they'd murder you. You know what I mean?
Aw.
Oh. He gets another big hug.
It's the nicest thing he's ever said to me.
It won't last.
I'm not an evil character. I guess for you it might be. Might be
You're not evil, you're just an asshole. There's a difference.
There's you.
Yeah, I know firsthand.
Okay, so serious talk. Buckley, may need some healing. Are we going to try and block this room off and
Yeah,
use
maybe,
this as a
maybe we should wall it off.
as a rest point?
I could definitely use with the rest.
So up ahead there is a city full of fuckers.
Cool.
That's probably where we're.
That's where I came from.
Well, back that way is a dragon.
Let's go to the city, but well, then again,
It's not a
How
very
am I
nice dragon.
Grunt signs to him and says, I pulled the wing off a dragon the other.
see, we're fine.
We're fine if maybe people can rest for a bit. But what I'm saying is,
I'm okay.
people can come from that tunnel. I'm pretty sure that dragon isn't going to squeeze through that small gap.
I have
What
an
if
idea
it-
on how we can block them up, but we do need to be heading more towards the Drow and the Duragar because that's what
That's
we're
what we're
here
here to do.
for.
Is it like a how to put this an elder dragon?
No,
not super old.
No, yeah, doesn't look big enough, but it's still big.
Is it adult?
Yeah,
Probably
Can't
don't.
those transform?
we know good ones can. We've never actually seen an evil one.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
Apparently.
This one was
Oh,
one of the
okay.
shadow dragons though, but whether that's got an ability of its own to change using
Fuck is the
shadows, I
shadow
don't know.
dragon?
DM?
Also, can you turn into shadows then?
Yeah, that was my worry.
I point at Dale, and then that, but a shadow, but a dragon.
And I signed the one I pulled the wing off was a bony drag.
Oh, I've
And
got an
points to the
idea.
shield. Like that!
If between all the strong people that we've got, if we can try and shunt that dead body that Dell's now got against the wall over onto its side, we can block off one of the doors, and we've got the Etienne over by the other one that we can kind of make a position into a fleshy wall. And give us
I signed
we've
a
got two
Nuzdo.
Fomorians, two and a hill giant, so
moving them is not
I
going to be easy.
signed a Nozdo.
You
your
have
dwarf
Nozdo
wanna
and Grunt.
help me
It's
do
not
a
fine.
campaign?
And me.
Yeah, you have 3 very, very strong people.
I think
Yeah.
on average
Been over here with a
the
23.
minimum strength of this party is probably like a +3. I'm the only person who's got bad strength. The rest of you are pretty decent. It's not like the Curse of Strahd party.
Give you
me, Nozdo can probably-
Buckley, what's your strength with your belt?
My belt, 23.
23?
Sick.
Yeah. Naso currently has the lowest strength out of the 3 of you, and he's got a fucking 20.
Yeah, I have a 21.
We have
but
magic
I'm wearing a
items.
belt.
You suck, Nazdo!
I'm naked!
Yeah, he's got nothing attuned to him, in fairness.
Incidentally, you braid that hair as well. Weird.
Oh God! Get out!
To be honest, I didn't
I'm
realize
not
it'd be that
fully
long.
naked!
I mean, he doesn't braid the leg hair on.
What's your strength?
16. Wait, 25?
You're
was it?
slightly stronger than me.
We got a 23, a 21, a 20, a 16, and Shimmer's a 16 as well.
So 20.
Yeah,
15.
you guys can
Oh,
together, considering Grunt's got the totem with the bear bonuses,
And
very
there's also
much so.
a Goliath.
Yeah, she's a Goliath, so she basically has essentially the carrying capacity of a huge creature. You just watch; she just grabs the wrist of the fucking Fomorian and just begins dragging it.
Yeah, the
I mean, I'll help.
the average strength of the party is 17. As an average.
That's pretty fucking high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it
There you
is.
go. Then if we stick the Etienne and the Hill Giant up at the top one, and then the 2 Fomorians lie them down next to each other over that one, at least it's.
I'll just
Make it
rush
harder.
and doll them. I'll stick the smaller one into the butt of the other one.
No, it doesn't really work.
That's not how that works.
That's not how that works.
And
can
into
try.
Hill giant into Fomorian. It's fine.
This ain't a turducken.
Alright.
It's more of a pile than anything.
Let's,
Giant spent it.
let's get a campfire set up then, and we'll have a long rest here then.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Get a
have
full
my
recoup.
sun sword just on, just as a nice little backlight for the time being while we get a fire going.
Yeah,
I'll use it as a bit of kindling.
That's a new thing as well.
Oh yeah, the
Oh yeah!
sunblade
Look,
thing.
Stanchi, look, I got this.
Here's a lightsaber.
It's a sunblade.
I've
My God
got
gave it to me.
scars
From
all
a
over
god.
my body. I mean,
I can fix that, mate.
no, scars are cool. Leave it.
So we're taking a long rest then?
Wrong.
Taking a long
While we
rest.
take a long rest, we're going to quickly take a quick 5-minute break.
Cool.
Cool. I'm going to trade items during this rest, but we'll do that
Yeah,
soon.
this is what you guys can essentially go. Here's our spare shit, Nazdo. Have fun.
Yep, I shall mute the stream temporarily, and we shall be back soon.
Right.
And we're back.
Welcome back, everyone. So, you've just piled the bodies up against the doors of your slain foes. Damn it, Narrowin. And...
Oh, that hurts my eyes.
Good. Suffer. And, as such, you can now begin to take your long rest. As you guys are now in this time handing gear to Snozdo.
Nazdo.
Hello?
I dump a hook on you.
I dumped
A
some
hook with a
guns.
chain that wraps
Hand them the
you
armor.
have to tie it around your arm to do it.
Fuck it. I put the armor on and begin cleaning as it's on me.
It'll take 9 more times then to, fix it all up.
Moist.
It's not moist, it's dried blood.
No. Brown.
It's more like
Oh,
flaky.
I'll help you clean it.
Just
Yeah.
okay, well then it'll take 8 rests then of you individually cleaning it. But if someone's helping you,
I would actually, wouldn't I have stuff in my smith's tools that would help with cleaning metal and whatnot?
if you would like to assist the cleaning of the metal, then it will be, even less time again. You know what? Make a smith's check, just like see if you can help what's the one for increasing, like quickening something? It's not expeditious, is it? For just like
Expedite.
Expedite.
you can expedite the cleaning. Thank you.
Never heard of that word.
So just make a smith's.
Expedite.
Yeah, make a smith's check to see if you can expedite it.
14.
Yeah, it'll now take 7
Whoops. Sorry.
rests worth of cleaning.
Yes, Nazdo, we get it. You're proficient in armor. You don't have to rub it in.
Shut up! I'm still sorting my page out.
Forget weapons. I have armor proficiency.
To be fair, the
Fuck
fucker only needs armor proficiency. Things will die from exhaustion trying to kill him.
Like a Homer Simpson boxer.
Yes, basically.
He's tired. Push him over. Push him.
Right.
Well then,
Who's
2 of them are
taking-
assisting Nazda.
Who's taking which watch?
Bitch.
I'll take first
Um,
watch.
I'll take first watch as well because I'm fairly okay. I'm not too hurt.
No one has questions for Nazdo?
I'll take first and talk. I mean, I'm still on technically full hit points.
Well, if you two want to chat, it'd probably be the best people to do it.
No, I'll let Grunt
Yeah,
and
you
Nazda
two,
have
because
first.
Grunt's not talking.
No, I'll let Grunt and Nazda have
Come on,
first
you
watch.
two are best mates.
Well, yeah, I know that, but we don't have too many people
I'd
like
like
at
to
the same time,
brush
otherwise
his
we're not actually.
But exactly, so I'll take a rest. You go and watch with Nozdo.
Okay.
And I check him for ticks.
He's good.
And his teeth.
Oh.
I'll take.
Oh, I was having for a snack.
No.
God damn it.
You
I
gotta
had to give you dysentery from eating shit. Knock it off.
I think he'd make that con check.
Ticks like clean blood. I'm not sure I have that.
You definitely don't have a clean
No,
one.
I've just got this sort of sad, wistful look in my eyes as I'm brushing your hair and tending to you. I'm trying to live this moment.
Ali, talk to me.
What do you want to talk about?
Ali.
What is there to go over?
I haven't been called Ali for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Prince Ali, fabulous.
So, while I've been gone,
That's
what the
Bill
fuck
Maher,
happened? You guys look like you're from sort of hell. What happened to you guys?
We have been through a hell of a lot in a very short space of time.
Be brief, but go on.
We've been up and down the country. We went to Rothaven, and we took out a few political figures.
I've also been to Rothaven.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah.
When? Because probably when is more
About a
important.
month ago.
Yeah, quite a while ago. Probably around the same time as you, if that's where the first place you went to.
I think
No,
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 no.
it wasn't the first place. That
I
was
think
quite
I think we
recent.
were at Rothaven maybe a week ago at that.
Yeah.
Things moved very quickly.
Oh
in our
right,
world.
okay. Well, I've
About 2
been
weeks ago, Stanji, your capture occurred.
yeah, I've been there a while ago, and I can't really remember why.
Would you like? Is that you
But
asking
I've-
the DM to explain?
Well, no, that's Nazdo interpretation.
Okay.
I've dealt with some people there. for reasons. But for some reason, I can't. I don't know who they were exactly. I know they're nobles, and I know I shouldn't have trusted them.
That doesn't narrow it down.
Yeah, it's difficult for me to tell who it is, but I definitely need to go back to Rothaven for one or two things.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, your ship, Nazda, was the Black Maiden.
I've lost my ship. Again.
This
I've
time
lost
it
my
got
crew.
shipwrecked. However.
Again.
I'm starting to call you Jack Sparrow.
Captain.
But yeah, I've so I went out on the sea for a bit after I parted ways with you guys. And after a bit of traveling and trading, we came up against a sea creature that's well, gnashed us a bit. I've had a couple of crewmates, which I'm really curious about, and I want to find out what happened to them. Because after that, we got, well, captured essentially. We weren't in the best of shapes, and in order to preserve their life, I sort of gave myself in, which really sucked. Thus, I ended up here.
But you weren't
It wasn't-
captured by Drow initially.
Well, no, we were. Or at least people associated with the Drow.
You were captured by the Rothaven people who sold you off.
Ah.
That. And I've been here for at least a week. Up in the city, just down the cave that I came running from. I've literally just had the chance to break away and meet you guys for some fucking reason.
Well, we're down here because Galgaron has sent us on another mission to sort out a problem with Drow and Duergar rising to the surface, which I can only assume is in part due to this slave network that's been going on with Rothaven.
Which we've now disrupted.
Yes, which we've now disrupted. It's a shame you weren't there like 2 weeks ago, because we probably would have bailed you out at the same time. We managed to release all the slaves that were there, and we caused a mass riot in the middle of the city and took out the family responsible.
Oh yeah, I was
Ramsay and his
down
brothers.
here by then in chains, unfortunately. A little bit too late. Oh well.
You've been working in the mines here.
Ramsay and his brothers
Golden
are
Mithril.
all taken care of.
Yep.
And his dad.
Very thoroughly, I would hope.
But by any chance, you didn't free one that was a genocide, did you?
Would I remember back then? Would I have seen
Make
someone
an
just-
intelligence check, and I'll say with advantage because everyone will be like pitching in on it.
Just did straight intelligence.
With advantage. But history check if you have proficiency in it.
No, I'm not.
Okay, straight
21.
check. The only recollection you have of any kind of genocide in Rothaven was the description of the crew member. If you remember, descriptions of a monster wrecking a ship off the coast. A story of that a few weeks before you arrived. The only thing you know of a genocide from there was the crew member who threw themselves into the maw of the beast was one.
So, I don't remember a slave genocide. The only one that comes to mind is one from an ex-sailor that sacrificed himself for the crew by the sounds of it. Threw himself...
Yeah, that's the
somewhere
guy I'm
over
talking about.
was that by any chance on your ship then?
Yeah.
Well, I've not heard anything since then. And I don't go digging through monster droppings all that often.
There was 3 others.
Genocide?
For some reason, I can't remember their names. It's like my memory's a bit gone, but I don't remember anyone doing it to me.
Oh, of course, the beast from Rothaven. The one that wipes any recollection of people when it's taken out. Remember, it took out a family on the dock and no one, even though the family had been there for
Yeah.
generations, no one remembered who they were.
Yeah.
There's some sort of identity wiping monster out there.
Well, I'm gonna kill it because I don't like when someone fucks with my
I
memory.
think that problem's been kinda dealt with.
We didn't pursue it.
We didn't pursue it because we didn't really know how to stop it, except that the whole reason that it, was doing this because of crimes against the ocean, which was being caused by all these shit people, which we dispatched.
It wasn't our main objective, so we just kind of left it because it somewhat helped us because it took out one family and that caused, a rift that other families wanted to then vie for power. We took advantage of that and took out a few of the other ones. So now the city's run by between 3 people, wasn't it? There was it Olsey?
Audley,
Sorry, who's the banker, and then
yeah.
you've got the one who was in charge of
the one who's in charge of
gunpowder.
munitions, and the alchemist, and also Lander has having his input.
Oh yeah, Lander, but he wasn't a faction leader.
He's behind the scenes.
Yeah, but there's 3 factions.
You were aware of Olsley because she was one you had to deal with. As any gold that passes through that city passes through her.
She was the banker. Yeah, she was in charge of the money.
So you did have to deal with her.
So it went from 6 to 3 in the space of
3
for
days.
them
48 hours.
yeah, in a real quick succession. So
Yeah, and we opened up the possibility of, hey, if you stop doing all this slave shit, we'll offer you trade agreements with Duskhaven. And Audley was like that idea, that sounds good.
yeah, so that was the first thing that we did. But on the complete other tangent, we have actually met up with Guan Chi, the hobgoblin, and we found out quite a lot about him. It turns out that we are, I suppose this does include you, we are a part of a series of heroes that keep working for Galgarond. We found out that Galgarond apparently in his youth was cursed because of his sort of...
Hubris.
Yeah, his hubris, his
Who's
ego.
Galgarond again?
Sorry?
The Gold Dragon in charge of Duskhaven.
Creator
You don't remember the name Galgaron because you were never told it.
Oh yeah, but when we knew you, he was going by the name Creodov.
Yeah, Creodov, his real name...
Creosol, right. Yeah, okay.
And his son, Aeon Sol, who is still alive and kicking, and he's actually now the mayor / leader of New Grove, where Buckley's from.
Didn't Oster have a thing for Aeon Sol?
Yes.
I still want to smooch him.
He's a very smoochable face.
I will climb that mountain!
I am a dwarf, it is my destiny. So Galgarond, Creodov, we have found out he keeps sending out different parties of heroes to go and do things for him, and each one of them keeps failing at a certain point because he pushes them to see how far he can send them. And we realise that it's because he's after specific items, because in his youth he was cursed because of his ego and all the terrible things he was doing for what he believed to be the right reasons, which was still evil. He was punished for it, and it was made so that he can never heal himself. Others can attempt to heal him, but it's really difficult to, but he can't directly heal himself, which is a big problem when you're a cleric.
So he's a gold dragon
Mm-hmm.
who was doing bad things, but he thought you were good things.
Yeah,
But
he
he still
was
did bad
doing
things.
bad things for what he
Right
believed was
reasons.
good reasons. They weren't necessarily good reasons, but they were what he literally believed
Yeah.
to himself were the right things to
It's
do,
like-
but was going about them in incredibly extreme fashions.
Yeah, it's like there were 2 sides of a war going on, and instead of saying, I'm going to stop this war by causing peace, he was like, I'm going to stop this war by obliterating one of the factions. And
Yeah.
it was like,
So it's
Reasonable and quick to the point, I mean, shit.
Yeah.
it's not wrong, but it's not right.
it's not the
So-
right methods.
But either way, he was cursed because
Not
of
the
that.
greatest to start genocide, just to finish off a war.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and as such, we found out that I can't remember if it was the first party, but one of the earlier parties was Aeon Sol, the blacksmith from Duskhaven,
Party before you.
Leocro.
Leocro. I thought it was.
Yeah, the party before us.
They're the party
They were
before
the
you.
ones already
They were the
first.
party before us. Yeah, they weren't the first. Okay, so
Merok.
yeah, party before us was Merok, who was obviously the fire casting mayor of Duskhaven when we got there. Leocro, the blacksmith. Aeon Sol. Guan Chi was one of them, and then there was a few other members
Merrick's
that we
wife, who
had.
got
Merrick's
killed.
wife, who was killed by
There was,
Hobgoblin.
there was a bard
There was a bard that we've never met who
who
was
was
believed to be dead.
Yeah, supposedly killed in a planar incident with demons.
Yeah, that was their last assignment that they remember was they were sent to the Hells to go and reclaim one of these items that supposedly can undo the curse on Galgarond, or so he believes. Whether or not it's true, we need to find that out. But when they were sent to get this item, they failed, They returned from Hell, or on the return from Hell, they met Galgaron sort of at the portal, and he said, "You're not coming back until you've done the job," and sent them back in. And the only one who truly remembers what transpired from that is Guan Chi, because everyone else either wasn't there when that happened, or they were unconscious, or their memory has now become hazy due to injuries. So Guan Chi's the only one that truly remembers what happened, and we've met him, and he's not actually a bad guy. He's just trying to do good by the hobgoblins, by his people. He just wants to be a good leader. So it's thrown everything that we've known into like disarray, because we don't know who to really trust. We've been told to go for Guan Chi the whole time. Now we've met him and he says we should be going for Galgarond, but we've been working for Galgarond the whole time, but now he seems sketchy as well. So we're not 100% sure where we stand.
Yeah.
But we're kind of
So
going along with it at the
how
moment.
do you end up fighting the drow and getting chased by a shadow dragon?
He sent us the latest mission that he sent us on, which we were told that he would do something like this. He's trying to send us on harder and harder missions, so he's sending us to the Underdark. I'm assuming as a pretense before he sends us to another plane.
Yeah.
So you don't know if you should...
We're currently still trying to play it safe because he doesn't know we've spoken to Guan Chi. We're still trying to stay in his good books because at the end of the day, you don't really want a gold dragon. You know,
And he's hiding something.
and
We went and saw him the one time and he was completely weak and couldn't do anything. We've seen him since, and I don't believe him to be at full power by any stretch of it, but he is certainly not incompetent in his current state.
He's also
He
not
is healthy
incompetent.
enough
He's
that he
also not
can do
incompetent in that he made it very apparent to us that he, even despite all the stuff we've done, clearly doesn't trust us.
So he obviously suspects something,
suspects
but we don't
us.
know how much he suspects. Because you remember those... Do you remember way back when we got those... we saved the egg? The very first thing in the Dead Mountain, we brought that golden egg back, and he gave us a reward. He gave us like a medallion that we could wear.
Those medallion things. You sold yours off, but do you remember them?
I do, actually, yeah.
Yeah, that was actually some sort of scrying magical bullshit item that allowed him to hear and see what we did.
You've been spying
So
on
I
us.
did the right thing,
Yes.
so I win.
Well,
we've
some
got-
poor bugger out there has probably got some all-seeing eye floating about somewhere, and we have found others since. We found one other, so we know that he's had other ones that he's given out to people. So as such, we've stopped wearing them now. We've kept them in the bag of holding, and there's one at the house.
Oh yeah.
Can the bag prevent people from seeing you anyway?
It's in a pocket dimension, so we can see a pocket dimension currently.
Yes,
It's an
I know.
alternate dimension.
Mine I used to.
I don't know,
I
magic.
used mine to pay for some potions because we ran low on money.
I've kept hold of one of them just in case we can find some way to reverse
Oh
it.
yeah, I lost all my money, by the way. As you can
I-
imagine, I
I-
was a slave for a bit.
Figured.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I kinda want my 700 gold back.
I'm sure we can.
I was going to say, I can definitely reimburse you from
I'm
that.
sure we can do.
Oh no, I don't want reimbursement from you. I am going to murder that fucking town until I get my money.
What, Rothaven?
No, the one we're going up to with
Oh.
the Duragon, the Drow.
Oh, the Drow City. Oh,
Speaking
yeah.
of the town, you don't happen to know anything about some Dragonborn, do you? A white, green, and a red one?
A white, green, and red Dragonborn. That's very
Yeah, so in the
specific.
middle of that city, as you can imagine, it's full of Durgar Drow and all the nasty shit. But for some reason, there was 3 Dragonborn in there as well, and they didn't seem to be on hostile terms necessarily.
White, a green, and a red.
Shimmer, do you happen to know things?
That's
That's
racist.
That's
racist.
racist.
Oh, Jay, you a black dude. You know this guy?
Hey,
Can't say that.
Rude.
God damn it! I come from
Rude.
farming town. I'm just saying.
Do all you humans know each other?
Actually, everyone in my town knows each other. Yeah.
I come from the very small village of Fuck It.
Grunt raised her hand and signs that everyone in her village knew her and vice.
How big
And
was
now
it?
over one of them are dead.
All 12 of them.
She signs to him. Well, put it this way: we stopped breeding several generations back because genetic diversity was getting.
I say in
Apparently-
giant. You know you can just speak giant to me, right?
I hand Nazdo the breeding papers.
Oh god.
Oh God.
Grunt drew diagrams.
Graphic diagrams on how they.
But not sexy time. It's a weird ritual in which a portion of one person is given to another, and then that is ripped out of the other person, and that And I mean literally ripped.
Yeah, like magical essence, soul stuff.
Magic.
I'm giving you the synopsis because we've already spent up to an hour on this in other episodes, and I don't want
She
to
lifts up a shirt and shows no belly button.
Yeah.
They don't reproduce in the way that we know.
There's no birth. They're just created, essentially. It's
She
entirely
decides
through.
I can't believe you guys breed like animals. It's a bit gross.
It's fucking awesome.
It's awesome.
And take that from someone who can't have kids with anything but a dwarf. It's great.
Shamanistic magic is the best, apparently. So.
I put the papers away.
And it sucks at the same time, but don't worry about that.
It can suck. That's only part of the fun.
So that's where we've got to then. We're currently trying to track down information of these super magical items. We have a list of them. They're like really specific ancient oldie worldy stuff like the tears of a garden, that kind of stuff. But if we can find some sort of information about them, A, we can find out if what Galgron's trying to do is even feasible. B, if it's relevant to what he's doing, or if it's relevant to like something else that could be like a whole cover for, and that he's actually trying to do something worse. C, and I suppose C is just always on the table. Stop Crumble in whatever the fuck he's doing.
Oh yeah,
he definitely needs
that's
to
the
die.
one. That's the one thing that has not changed in the slightest. He is still a massive arsehole and still frequently beats several of us up.
I got pretty close to taking him down.
So did I, sort of.
And he knows now that he cannot. He's got to get a real jump on us if he want to take us out. Because if I can get close to taking him out on my own with all of us, you don't stand a chance. So he's going to be watching and bombing running us now. Basically, anytime, like, never go anywhere alone. You go with somebody. That is the new rule of the group. You never go anywhere alone.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know really much because I don't really care. But isn't the gold dragon supposed to be like all holy and never bad and shit?
Yeah,
To our knowledge,
that
yes.
normally they are, but this appears to be the exception.
Now, what if he's not actually a gold dragon?
Grunt signs and points to Shimmer and says, Shimmer's gold and he burns people alive.
Yeah, he's not a
Yeah.
dragon.
He's not a dragon!
He's a
dragonborn.
Yeah. Dragonborns have more control over their free will. It's an interesting point.
Because I'm pretty sure, like, there's the... what the fuck is it called? There's some dragons that people worship, and they're basically gods, but they're, like, all holy, and, you know, they've never done wrong, and even if they had to...
to Bahamut, the Platinum Dragon, the God of Dragons.
Sure, why not? I don't fucking know. I have an axe. So,
That's
like,
his motto.
it just kind of makes me feel like... I mean, maybe he's not actually a golden dragon and he's being fucked with.
Maybe. It wouldn't
Probably is.
surprise me. At this point, everybody's pretending to be somebody they're not. I don't
Like,
think
if he
they're supposed to
pays
smile
well,
face-to-face
fair
to him.
enough.
Also, we met
But
his
still.
wife, who was apparently dead, but it now isn't dead.
Oh, and he's mad at me for having killed her.
Yeah.
It was originally thought that she was dead, and then it was revealed she wasn't dead but had been corrupted, and then it was revealed she isn't actually corrupted, but we've pretended that she is dead so that he doesn't try to find her and kill her himself. It's very complicated.
No, she has been corrupted in some form or another, but I wouldn't necessarily say that she's been turned evil, if that makes sense.
Right now, she's probably drunk.
Why?
Yeah,
Because
alcohol on the way out.
Yeah, we gave her the wine. Tied her over. Yeah, it's nothing falls anymore on the spectrum of good and evil. Everything falls on the spectrum of what people believe is the right thing to do and how they're going about doing it. But we have to kind of see whereabouts we fit on that and what we agree and disagree with.
There's one thing I hate more than losing all the people I know and losing the ship. Is being fucked with.
Well, you're probably
And it
gonna
sounds
regret
like you
meeting
guys
us.
are being fucked with.
Yes.
I mean, we're being fucked with on a day-to-day basis.
You're
But
welcome.
we are taking strides to make sure that we find out whose side we're really on. We're working for ourselves, but we're under the guise that we're working for other people.
Well, first things first, we need to go and murder a bunch of dickheads, really.
Yeah.
Revenge first, loot second.
No,
information third.
not revenge. Compensation.
I believe that's a fancy terminology for revenge.
I don't believe in revenge
No, so
because
he's
if you
a
have revenge,
businessman.
you'll never settle. However,
Never trust a
I will
business.
kill some people to get my shit back.
I always have to remind myself that you're an engineer and are actually qualified to do a job other than hit things with an axe.
I'm a guild artisan, not an engineer specifically, but
Potato, carrot.
He's a shipwright. People who make ships.
and the captain.
There's definitely more
Well,
potato
not
than a
anymore,
carrot.
but I was for a bit.
Well, we'll go and get you some compensation, and we'll get you a hat.
Sure.
Okay.
Grunt picks up Nazdo, turns him around, and she says in hell they destroyed her soul.
Oh yeah.
Who? I missed that a bit because you stopped.
Hell.
Grunt's life companion.
I hand him the papers.
Oh, right. Who did?
The people
She
of
just palms-
Distoon.
She palms the massive thunderbolt maw and says, "There will be revenge."
I mean, sure, why not? I can't wrong it. All in giant. Sure, I can't wrong you in that one, but
Basically, the arena at whatever town it was actually a soul
Sure.
trap.
This town.
And it was basically
the one I
taking
fought
people's
in?
souls and destroying them.
oh. And who is that you're seeking revenge after exactly, specifically?
Just that entire town, really.
Of Rothaven.
No, Distoon.
Distoon.
The
The other
head
town
of
of
the-
shitheads.
This is in the middle of the desert past the Dead Mountain. You had been there, Nosto.
Yeah, I'm trying to recall.
This time was the one where we went and spoke to like the captain of the guard, and
That's not the one we set on fire, is it?
No.
No, that's the one that we went to, and immediately
Somebody else set it on
we
fire.
immediately came to the conclusion that everybody there was a piece of shit because we tried to speak to a guard and he roundhouse kicked us in the face. So we just
Oh no, you spoke to the person who was overseeing the entire arena.
Yeah, and he hit you in the back of the head,
yeah,
and then he
he's
threw
like-
you down the stairs.
Yeah.
Well, he got his top man to throw you down the stairs.
Yeah, so we were like, fuck this place, and left immediately in the middle of the night.
Incidentally, the guy who threw you down the stairs is dead. No, he's been returned to the hells because he was a
Devil.
He was a
Bearded devil.
beard devil.
Yeah.
So,
Jinx.
That hurts.
but it will have hurt
Pretty
him
sure
a
it
bit
was
more.
funny at the time. I can't remember much.
You did find it funny. I do remember you laughing.
Grunt has gone back to signing, and she says that there'll be no returning to the hells after what she does to this person.
I mean, sure, fuck it, let's kill some
I
shit.
mean, if-
I'm not opposed to it.
I mean, because history seems to be repeating itself, we'll probably get sent to the hells at some point, so we could certainly finish the job.
Oh, but hell's warm.
Grunt just sort of gives a very unhinged sort of smile.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
You're like patting her hip by doing that.
Whatever I can reach.
It's alright.
You're right.
As though you don't have your kit or anything, so she's going to be lap pillow tonight.
So you guys eventually go to your rests, and because the room is boarded off, nobody makes an attempt, or if there is an attempt made, there's too much flesh to carve through, and you are left alone for a full 8 hours.
Yes. Full rest.
Full rest.
Hit points.
So Stanji, heal back all that health you lost, okay?
Oh, the one hit point. Sorry, the 3, 4. Damn it!
7! Fuck you! It was 7
Why
hit points because you didn't have heavy armor on.
Keep forgetting.
Okay, so I think that's everything. Spells, of course, spells.
Huh, hang on, let me just, Yeah, no, done.
That's
My,
health charge.
My spell of fist. Oh no, I have to get a rage back. There we
You got your rage back. Thing is, you may as well have fists typed in because you have Tavern Brawler.
I do have the gate breakers, don't worry.
Oh, that's your fist, is it?
Yep.
Oh, damn it. I forgot that you can punch, and then as a bonus action.
Breaker.
Or
I like
Gat
to
and
imagine that he's
Heatbreaker, because
gone
this one's got
to,
more
he's tattooed like gate on one hand and then tried to do it on the other fist as well, and it's to the word.
Okay, so you get up. With the people you have, it does not take long to remove the bodies of the.
I don't help.
We need a token for Nasda.
Oh yeah.
Hang on, I give him a token circle.
It'll only take 2 secs.
A proper token.
I do need
Can
a
someone
new
else do
picture,
it right
to be
now?
fair.
Because I'm DMing things.
We'll sort it out after when the game's over. It needs
Sure.
it needs to be an orange ring.
I need a new picture, goddammit. I need to find one.
I'm not even gonna ask what Spook's doing, and we're just gonna continue moving. So, who is at the front of your investigation?
Yep.
You beat me to it!
Ooh la la!
The male dwarven sex icon. This man fucks. God damn it.
Yep.
Stop it. I'm trying to breathe.
Oh my
I'm trying to
God,
DM here, damn
That's
it.
not the best one.
No, stop it right now. Stop it right now. I'm cutting it off right now because I have to focus.
We'll leave it. We'll leave it for
It's
when the session's
important.
over. We'll leave it for when the session's over.
You can do it later. I'm trying to keep my composure because I'm DMing. Okay, who's first down the?
I suppose I'll take it considering I came that way. I wasn't paying much attention when I was running, but probably better than you guys considering you don't know shit. Fine, go ahead.
Grant taps you on the shoulder and signs, I can't see down here as well, by the way.
Oh.
Buckley's got
Yeah.
light.
Oi,
just,
sneaky
I'd warn him.
bitch! Up you go.
I don't like going first.
There wasn't any traps, but you're better at scouting than I am, so.
I mean,
Or, sorry,
Shall I go
I didn't
first?
notice any traps while I was running.
And also,
Okay.
you don't notice doors, even when you collide
It's the
with
doors' fault.
The door started it.
I'll go first.
them. I'll go second.
For being in a way, I'll go third.
Okay, you two actually do.
I'll rear guard.
People who can't see in dark at the back with the light, people who can see in the dark at the front.
In both of your heads, you hear individually, "Child of Stars, Firiel of Andrea." You come close to my people. You come close to those I protect. I am aware of the power you walk with. I'm aware of the gifts you have been bestowed. You will not meet resistance in the city, provided you speak with me. You will find me upon my throne. You will know the way. This is in your minds. It is not vocal or anything. It is just this soft, maternal, feminine.
Who knew?
Nice.
Okay, so you guys continue moving.
They're anticipating our
Yeah.
arrival.
This seems safe.
God.
Let's keep going.
I mean, yeah, I could have told you that.
No, I mean like
No.
they're really anticipating our arrival.
Like, to
The-
the point that they've essentially said, if you chill, we'll let you in, which is confusing.
What?
Yeah,
That we've basically been given an invitation.
somebody wants to speak with us. You,
Who said that? In what language?
Elvish. Who's
Don't
Elvish?
trust a drow. Period.
I know that.
Well,
The element of surprise is gone.
definitely lost the element of surprise. This is your call, Nazda.
I mean, let me go first, just in case they did set something up. I can take it to the face.
They said they were willing to speak with us. Should we consider that?
They haven't been willing to speak to me for the past 2 weeks, where they've been lashing me over the back. So
I'm sorry, Nosdo, but that's because you're a dwarf, okay?
I don't agree
Wow.
with slavery. At all.
Race-
To be fair, you didn't have fireballs.
Red signs that she was a slave and she's not a big fan.
I'm not a fan either, but I'm also not a fan of walking headfirst into a fully armed city with an army that knows we're coming.
I mean, would you prefer to fight the dragon? Potentially.
You say army, I say target-rich environment. You know, it's whatever.
Grunt fist pounds him when he says that, just as the explosion.
Honestly, apart from the three dragonborn that I saw, I mean, they didn't look like much. I'm not saying they're not gonna give us any problems, but they were just drow and Duragar.
They probably know that we would be an issue.
Have I spotted anything else that would look like it would give us a problem in a fight? Fortifications, big ass creatures, anything.
Big ass creatures, not so much. Nothing of a spider or an arachnid nature. Very distinctly, you'd think you would have seen something like that. You are definitely aware that there are elite warriors among both the Drow and Duragar, and some individuals which you can presume are casters. But you've not you have actually encountered the smith, which you are aware that the smith is just real quick. I have to go get it. You are aware that the smith is this large, kind of almost from the waist down is just dust and sand erupting, but there's like this dark clay-skinned individual who works the forge. It's easily like the torso itself is maybe always floating at least 10-15 feet off the ground.
So it's like an elemental thing.
Yeah, it's an elemental. It's a Dao. For those who would know, it's just like how I'm trying to describe it.
So apart from that, yes, go on.
Grunt signs, she thought she knew giants, and then this weird thing with the weird bulbous bits and weird eye looked at her funny, and
Delmara and Alistair and anyone else who has proficiency in history, just those two, and anyone with proficiency in history, make it.
Elven heritage.
Yep.
Oh, my dad would be so proud. Yours would not.
Don't worry about it.
Yes.
Anyone else got proficiency in history wants to roll?
nope, not me.
No, unless you mean athletics.
You flex your brain!
I'm feeling stuff in my head.
It's called thinking, Spook.
Ah, goddamn blood vessel!
Delmara.
Hello.
Whilst you know little of the Drow, like it's not something that's taught very much, but it's more taught as the enemy. You are aware that Drow cities are very much so like you. How they were created is how most of the elven colonies that did exist underground were thousands of years ago or so before the betrayal. And at that time, you know that the cities are essentially just like a nest of traps, if not traps, death holes, points of just like,
Ambushes.
death circles, essentially, where like from every angle you can be shot at or fired at. But one thing you were aware of is every Drow city is ruled by a matriarchy, and the person who rules it is often somebody of considerable power because they have to contest their position to your knowledge.
Oh, by the way, I don't think I've mentioned it. You know those rat things that we fought in the sewers before I left?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're here too.
Ugh.
You've encountered them, but then you never encountered them in the city. You saw them attacking the city, but you never. It wasn't a mutual. Just for clarity.
Cool. So, yeah. Basically just reiterating what Dad said to me. So, as we probably know already from our small journeys down here, tunnels are going to be filled with traps, loads of death pits, loads of choke points. They know we're coming, with the exception that the leader is apparently willing to speak with you or me or both of us, provided that we're relatively passive, I guess. Didn't exactly specify whether it was for the group, so I genuinely don't know. It could be, regardless, if we go in there and try to continue with our plan as normal, we could be walking into a trap. But if we go in there and try and be peaceful, we could be walking into a trap. So,
I mean, I'm coming out of the way, you're not.
No.
We'll take a diplomatic approach because we need to find out what's going on, and if they're willing to let us talk to the head honcho himself, we'll go and speak to them and see what's going on. But if we don't like what we hear,
They must consider us to at least be a possible threat. Otherwise, they wouldn't offer.
they'd be foolish not to think of us as a
They
possible
wouldn't
threat.
offer diplomacy to us if they weren't slightly concerned that we might be able to ruin them.
I don't know.
I will
too much
name my
about
new
Drow.
weapon diplomacy.
Their name's already taken.
I don't know too much about Drow, but I know they're very fond of their silk stuff. So if we bring Shimmer into it, our plan B can stand for burn.
Don't forget the Duragar. They're not much up for discussion. They're just dicks.
Well, we're not being.
Oh, that's most
contacted
dwarves.
by the Duragar.
I mean, it seemed like they're on the lowest scale of the hierarchy, but still.
We need to find out what's going on because this slave network is linked above and below ground. So something's going on here, and I find it hard to believe that Duragar and Drow would willingly work together.
They know there's been a disruption. We've cut off a big supplier for them.
We'll take it one step at a time. We'll
And
get to the city first, and we'll make a decision at the gates.
And the last search party they sent to the surface didn't come back because they were smushed.
Either way, I'm right behind you.
What does Del Deer think?
Oh.
You focus for a moment on the thought of Deldir in your mind. And all this time, Deldir has been quiet. And in that ethereal moment, the way you can see him as he's manifest before you, when you begin concentrating like this, that no one else can see, the Drow were betrayers of the true God. I do not know how to proceed here. This is a risk, a gamble. I know not whether or not we can make this gamble.
Well, worst comes to worst, as long as we don't get hit with a force cage in the future, we have got Buckley's emergency out.
Daddy, what the fuck did he just do? What's wrong with him?
Yeah, you've never.
You just watch as his eyes just go like this ethereal white energy just emits out of them.
We forgot to mention that cool bow thing that he's carrying that can change into a sword. There's like a spirit trapped in there, and he likes to talk to it from time to time.
He's talking to his weapon.
The spirit in.
I can appreciate weapon intimacy. Let's proceed.
No, there's a person.
No,
Like,
it's alright. I get it. It's fine.
God, I missed you.
Come on then. Come on.
We'll get to the outskirts and we'll see what's happening, but we're going up to this treating it that we hold all the cards and the ball is in our court, so any talks of disarming ourselves, moving deeper into the city under armed guard, that outnumber us.
Yes.
Not
We
happening.
flat out refuse to
Yeah.
remove our weapons.
It's on our terms, or it's not at all.
I've ran away once. I don't think they'll let me run away again.
In terms of cities,
they put the offer forward.
yeah. In terms of the city, they're inviting us into their city, and regardless of how many units you've got, having a pyromancer willingly walk into your city is a dangerous thing. Any city has to accept that. So,
What if the city's made of stone as opposed to wood?
there's a lot of stuff that can burn aside from stone.
Flesh.
That's fair.
And as I said
Stone.
before, Drow like to have silk and stuff, usually.
A lot of elves enjoy the finer things in life.
Poncy twats.
Yeah.
Hang on, aren't you one of them?
Half.
Yeah.
Close enough.
We'll see what they've got to say. If they're making a civil invitation, we'll reply civilly, unless we're given reason
Hey,
to believe otherwise.
they're aware of us, and they're probably going to be very aware of that bow you carry on your back.
Good.
So, keep that in
Also-
mind.
Because I feel they don't really get a lot of sunlight down here.
No.
You reckon?
A bit, yeah. I'll bring some sunlight to them if need be.
See,
AKA, I just, my spell changes of the day, I'm taking Dawn.
Let me know before you do. I haven't seen.
I'm not familiar with that one.
is that a new
That's a
one?
nasty
The light
bitch.
of dawn shines down on a location you specify within range. Until the spell ends, a 30-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder of bright light glimmers there. The
Jesus.
light is sunlight. While the cylinder appears, each creature in it must make a saving throw, taking 4d10 radiant damage on a fail saved, or half as much on a successful.
Jesus Christ, this moonbeam turned up to max.
Basically. If
What
you
happens when you don't focus on the moon? You just say, "I'm going to flip this round to the sun," and whack.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
think they will absolutely hate that. So that's
yeah,
good idea.
I think they also would hate my sword as well. But yeah,
Yes.
And as we
as,
said before,
another
we have
thing.
an emergency BAMF button if needs be.
that too.
Yes.
That we don't have to make any sort of,
We don't have to make it.
we don't have to overpower someone else's spell casting.
Grunt signs. Also, there's a massive forge here, and there seems to be giants. Maybe gauntlets I could take by money, or she just taps the hammer in her hand. Money or other.
You guys deal with the revenge, I'll deal with the economic.
It's worth mentioning that generally rulers of the Drow Society it's very cutthroat. So whoever we're going to speak to, she probably got there by being very powerful, and I don't just mean physically. A lot of elves are drawn to the magic arts. It comes naturally to most of them, but not all of them.
I've got the head honcho backing me. I know which side I'm on.
I mean, I
Sure,
appreciate
but
all
then
this
assume
talking and planning and such, but am I going to fire something or not?
Not yet, but keep
Potentially.
it on the back burner.
Quite literally.
I don't have a back burner. I'm all burner.
Yeah,
Okay,
so it's
so-
when you fart.
He's the literal pilot light.
So I have to ask then, are you guys going to continue moving forward from here?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
As you step forward, the road ahead the tunnel does go two different ways. Nazu, you came from the way that is directly upward, northward, and there is another way eastward.
I came from the left.
Okay, I'm gonna can I do like a quick survival check for traps, see what tracks.
Yeah, I'll say that you can just do this, and it'll be just your general check for your travel.
So just a survival check.
Mm-hmm. You rolled a fucking 12.
Do one thing, do it well.
Okay.
One less than Nosda's AC. Do
Well,
one
she
thing,
said
do it
we
well.
know the way.
Yeah. Alistair, you keep an eye out as you go. And you are aware, Nazdo, you are aware that this is where you came from. This is where the actual mines are. And the city is directly...
I rely.
Relay.
You
Do we
realise.
want to go via the mines and free the slaves, or...?
Currently, no.
Alright.
I mean, don't get me wrong. My terms are going to be to release all slaves,
Yes.
but we'll get to that in due course. I want to see whatever it is that they're so willing to talk
Yeah.
about to begin
They
with.
obviously think they can offer us something.
I've already got my freedom, so unless they give me my money back, I'm good. Actually, to be fair, they didn't take my money. It was the bastards up in the city.
Yeah, Rodhaven took your money.
I'm pretty sure it's all connected. Your head carried a price.
I think it was just my muscles. I don't think they knew me.
Okay, so do you guys make your way to this point?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, following it all the way through until we get
Okay.
to
Move your
wherever the
butts.
city is.
Keep up,
What's
Nonso,
that?
you've got little legs!
Fucking hell up!
One thing you notice is that even though Nazdo is, a dwarf and they're naturally a bit slower, he's able to keep up with you very well.
Oh, he's got increased movement now, he's part barbarian.
Barbarian.
Not just yet.
Not from that. Dwarven nimbleness.
That's what I thought. Feet!
His feet have increased his feet of movement. Ah!
You're right.
No, I'm dying.
So, hang on. As you enter the city, you look up, and there is maybe 100 feet above you a ceiling. That ceiling is dotted with bioluminescent fungi and crystals that have light reflected or refracted off of it from different points. And it is as if you are looking up at the night sky itself. There is no darkness here for the point of, say, obfuscation for the humans and for the Goliaths. You can see perfectly fine here. But it is not a light that harms the eyes of anyone who's focused on the dark, so sensitive creatures are okay. As you enter, the buildings here are made from this very soft designed clay with stone inlaid, kind of. It's almost bricked in the ways, it's like brick of clay almost used in this design. The houses are very well kept, whilst the very, very base of them is simple in their design. Everything connected to them, like spines that reach up to the sides of elegant poses that have dangling jewels or gems to them. It's very elegant in their designs, and you do see signs and designs for different places within the city, for an inn as you pass, and of a general store. But the one thing you are noticing is there are Durgar in the city, and there are Drow. They are all aware of you, but you step through the main street of the city, and as you do, they all step away. They are keeping, and it is definitely of a frightful nature they keep away from you, not of you should be afraid. They're fully aware of what you are capable of and are very afraid. And those who you make direct eye contact with, Alistair, they lower their eyes away from you.
Boo. Maybe we should tell
And-
an owlbear story.
Oh, why don't you tell the Harpy story? I love that one a lot more.
Don't know that one.
And as you enter in, the path that I'm illuminating for you, wherever it goes grey, closer to this point here, everywhere where I say it's grey, like say here and here, is a shield wall. There are soldiers there, but it is a case of indicating to you where you need to go. You don't see, it's not like they're looking out towards you. There's just shields up. You are aware they are shields. They're being held up. It's probably 10 foot high. It's like literally very much so like in the Grecian Spartan way of shoulder to shoulder, thigh to neck, but also to the next level above it too.
Do any of the guards look braver than the others?
You're currently not really looking at any of the guards. Any of the guards that you're seeing are behind shields. You can't see their face.
Oh, okay.
But it seems like the only people forming the walls are the drow. Sorry, Nazo, what did you say?
Don't mind me.
Alistair and company, once you guys move, this door, once you arrive here, is the one that...
Also, whenever it becomes to where I can actually see, I put the sunblade away.
Okay, so we'll just keep it up for now because you might move through further tunnels later, but we'll presume that the light is currently off. I'll move you two here real quick. No, that's stretching them. You two to the front, very appropriately. The door does open, and you just see an empty room and a staircase. It's very simply furnished in here. It seems more like it's an office or a place of work. And this is a very tall building. It goes up nearly to the height of the entire complex itself. It goes up to nearly 80 foot high. You go up the stairs, one level, up to the next, and up again. And then you go up to a final stair. And there's then just like this waiting area, almost just like a space for you all to stand on. A final door opens up for you. And within this room you see at least 24 drow. I just don't have the current space to put them into the map, so just presume that there are, for the sake of imagination, 20 of them here. One individual is in heavy half plate, this white clock of hair, and the person closest to the door, they are wielding two long swords. They have them sheathed to the hilt, and just currently have their hands to the actual hilt. They're the first ones you see with these piercing purple eyes, and then you do see multiple other drow, and you do see the three dragonborn that were referred to by Nosdo. One is this tall imperialist warrior with this deep green skin, who is currently having two battle axes on onto a harness onto his back, but he is in full plated armor. Another one, very burly, maybe 6'5", 6'6", nearly as broad as he is tall. He's just a thick, enormous warrior with these enormous scars across his chest, very muscular, and he's wielding a bow staff. And then there's another one, this very old, very short, maybe 5'5" dragonborn of white skin. Oh, sorry, the burly one was red. This skinny, frail, decrepit, old-looking one holding a tome that is bound in this dark metal, and he's these frills to the back of his head, and he's always just a little bit hunched down with these spikes that produce out almost like a little bit of a chin beard. You do see as well amongst the individuals at this court at least two that are obviously these deep-robed, potentially mage individuals, and another one who is in this design of these bright purple clothes, who has this almost webbed design around the back of her, and it's almost like it's connecting like a back frill in some great Victorian regal design, but it's of webbing, and almost it's not sure if it's webbing or silk, and it connects down to the shoulders. And she and the white dragonborn are next to the throne, and sitting in this throne you see a figure which you can only begin to imagine the age of. She is in this throne. Is very simple. It's cut stone. There's nothing extravagant about it, except for the person who is in it. She is in this beautiful, scaled, designed armor. She's wielding, in her hands, you do see like this long staff that has a point to the top of it that is a beautiful ivory design. Adorning her head is almost rested across the brow and around the sides. Reaching out is this very thinly designed crown that very much so elevates her position and really defines how she appears to everyone around her. Her eyes are these holes, like dark purple with the whites of them still, and she's wearing this beautiful silvered necklace that is these several circles of metal that are connected together down to a design at the center of her pendant and chest, which is the design of Corellian Lothorian's symbol. And above her head, in this room, which you can tell that this is the largest room, and it goes up maybe 40, 60 feet, and above her, above the throne, tied in silks, is the body of an enormous arachnid-styled feminine figure, long dead, strewn up by the neck, and hung there like an example. Make a religion check, both Alistair and Elmara.
Also, real quick, out of character, I didn't realize we were making Dragonborn Power Rangers up in here.
By the way,
Actually, Buckley, are you proficient in religion?
Obviously.
Okay, make a religion check too.
What is
Your father would be so
My dad
proud.
would be so proud of me!
Okay. Sanji, go ahead. What was your question?
No, I was just gonna say, feel free to pop me down on the map.
I'm
I had
proficient
you
in
down.
no shit. I know what this is.
Where I moved you? Where were you?
I deleted myself because I popped a new icon, so I'm not standing out like a sore fucking thumb.
Just
that's fair.
drag your name over and
You can do it yourself, but I'll
I
do it for you
couldn't.
here. Just a sec. It's click and drag over your entire self.
Oh,
Hang on.
there we go.
There's something I'd like to
Oh,
do, but it
God.
can wait a second.
Hey!
Oh god, look at how bright it is.
Oh god.
So,
Yeah, you didn't realize
Buckley,
five
everyone,
color.
everyone. Buckley, you get this, and Damar, you get this too. You are aware of the visages of the daughters of Loth. You have been shown, or at least taught, her design. Every child of hers takes some form, but not all of the features of her. You get this sinking feeling in your guts. This is not a child of Loth that is strung up above them. This is Loth.
If I may. Beth,
Yes.
I'd like to make a point of unhooking the skull on my belt and using its upper jaw to scratch my butt before attaching it back to my belt.
Noted.
What is the skull?
The skull,
Skull of the last slaver who came for us.
Ah.
the Blackguard.
They don't know
tried-
that, but if
who
they
tried to-
ask,
It is a humanoid skull, so it's a human skull. Like, there's a difference between an elven and a human skull.
even so, if they ask, it's like this is sort of my own subtle way of saying I'm
Fuck slavery.
I get a
Yeah.
semi.
That's fair.
It's a new convertible
And you
car.
do see the mate.
Ooh. Ooh.
She motions for you to step in. No harm will come to you. My current entourage is merely a precaution.
I step in.
as well.
Follow.
Okay then. Mm. Can I look up and down like the street that we're on?
Make a perception check. Aside from the guards that are currently like blocking your paths. The way that you came is not been blocked. It's not like they've been forming up around you from behind. It's just where you are now. Like most of your people have stepped in. The guards have begun lowering their shields and are peeking out. Some of them you can tell like they have these very elegant. Think like the elven designed armor from Skyrim, but in a dark color. Um, these very fine helmets, and they're just looking out past them at you two and at everyone else. So it's almost like this cure. It's you can cut the tension in the air with a knife currently.
Fuck hell.
What sort of door is this, by the way?
The door was this very simply carved out of a stone or a granite, and it just basically just opens out widely, and it opens.
It opens inwards.
To give you an idea, I'll just say it for now. The door is currently like this.
Mahogany wood?
It's not mahogany. They don't. Have
It's
mahogany
only
down
a
here.
single door. It's not double door.
Yeah, it's a single door.
Okay, if I may, I'll like to I'll make a gesture as if I'm holding the door open for Dell and Alistair, and then whether they come on or not, I'm just going to stand there holding the door. It's like, yeah, try and
Noted.
close that. Go on.
Try to close the door, I dare you.
A good point. Go on then. I'll...
You move right there next to the
Okay.
consort, who is
You can
watching
probably
you.
hear the hinges just going, oh, please don't.
The hinges don't. This is a very well crafted door, and you can appreciate
But
the
even
fact
so,
that this isn't under your pressure.
Mm.
I'm just resting against it. It's like, yeah, this door's going to stay open.
You tell
I mean,
them
if
an
no one else
artist.
is gonna, I'm just gonna face the thing on the throne and go, what?
You can tell I'm an artist because it mildly annoys me that Nosdo's ring is a different thickness to everyone else's.
He is very
So-
thick.
The matron stands up, walking with the staff, and as she does step closer to you, you do see whilst even from this small distance, she doesn't even look beyond her 200th year. But when she steps closer and you really, like, especially you two and Buckley, the very perceptive ones amongst you, look into her eyes, you see wisdom of many, many centuries. She gives a polite nod to both of you, and a nod to your side, Alistair, where in your mind, Deldir has operated. Child of stars, and a half-blooded child of the wood. Champion of Corellian, and a master of shadow. You are welcome here. There is no doubt in my mind you have come here with the freedom of one of our slaves, inquiring as to the indications of our purpose, why we work as we do, and that we have connected with the surface world. I would answer your questions were you to give.
At present, I don't feel like asking questions. I don't agree with anything that I've seen here so far. I would only give demands at this point. I don't care what it is that you feel you need to do, for what greater good in your minds it is. I want all slaves that you are aware of released, and any that are working for the Durgar or the surface folk that you are working with to be told to us immediately. We've cut the connection with the chain on the surface, and we will do the same down here by whatever force we need to. I don't know how you know that name, but that died when I left the East Coast, and if needs be it will die again here today.
Do not think I use that name in a mockery term. I know all Fae, child, blood, by the name they were first given. I know not your name beside that. What would you be preferred to be called?
I am Alistair Dartwood, hunter extraordinaire.
Very well then, Alistair Dartwood. Proclaimed hunter extraordinaire. That is how I will refer to you.
Oh, she got your number.
I like her.
You like
And
reading
in other
women with
words,
legs.
I would like you to make a persuasion check or intimidation, whichever you're higher statted in, with advantage.
Don't fuck
They're,
this up.
they're both the same, so decide what your approach is, I suppose.
You're gonna fuck
When you really need them, they do come through.
Oh, when it matters!
As you're speaking with this confidence to you, everyone around you, you just see like there's almost like an apparition is coming out of Alistair as he's this ethereal blue form of a wraithly elf, gaunt and thin, is also speaking through him, and his voice is amplified by this moment as his eyes one glows and swirls gold, and in this moment the other swirls the other direction. But once he stops speaking, this drops, and Alistair, you are not aware that this happened to you. Understand this, child of forest, Alistair. Nothing I do here is a choice I've made lightly. The surface world, the elves, our kin, are not fond of us, since the realization of our weakness, our ability to be exploited, which we paid back in kind. As she motions a single finger up to the form behind her that is hung like a great trophy of a hunt. Many dozens at minimum of wounds dot the body, of burn marks, of wounds of sword and arrows still in it. The arrows themselves look like they've been rusted for hundreds of years. We live in a place where the values of the surface world are lost, because should we return there, we will be hunted again. I am of a small people, where tasks that can take the life of a child are dangerous for us. All children here must be protected. However, at your request, I would be willing to throw away the old ways of our people. But I would only ask of a single exchange for it.
And that is?
2, potentially. 1, a lot more simple. I have done all I can to rid my people of our curse, of our touch, that the sun god deny us to even look upon the land so long as his presence lingers, that it would pain us to be on the surface. I would ask you, champion, to allow me to commune to him through you. He has blocked off my connection. I cannot reach him. But through one such as you, I could break a cycle. And for that, I would release the slaves. Within a day, we would make work for them to get to the surface and leave unscathed.
Sounds like a trap, boy.
Can I do an insight check to see if the figure that we can see above us really is Loth, or if it's an illusion of some description?
Okay. For illusions like that, that will be an investigation check.
Yeah.
You can make an insight check of her and an investigation check of that, because I imagine that would be one of the first things you did when you entered the room.
I want to try to see if she's talking shit and is just trying to possess.
I kind of want an insight checker.
Okay, you two can insight check her. Alistair, you can insight check her as well. Alistair, you would have advantage on the investigation check because that was technically a monstrosity.
Hello.
Come on, give me something good. It's better.
Better.
You don't have advantage on this check now, so just to say it, because I know that was a 26.
That was a shit roll. I tried.
Alistair, you looked for a while for any kind of like shift of magic or discerning of it. This is without a doubt a creature that once did live. And the look upon the somewhat elven, contorted humanoid face is one of horror and... It definitely did not expect its end.
Very well. What do I do?
Whilst her choosing of words is very careful, you can tell her intent seems genuine. She does want to speak to Corellian through you.
I will step forward to her then, I suppose. I'm going to keep the bow slung over my back, but...
I want to stay within reach of him.
You can move forward. And by the way, when Alistair moves forward, there's a moment where every figure aside from her flinches. Delmara, really, and Buckley are the only ones who can truly pick it up from the more senior individuals in this room. But the other drow all flinch, aside from the more veteran ones, but Delmara and Buckley, you do see that even they have that momentary twinge to them when he steps forward. And it's the same again when Nazdo steps forward.
What exactly is involved in this conversation?
You would be able to hear it.
You're muted.
You would be able to hear it.
Naren was speaking.
Oh, Naren was talking. Go on,
As a
Naren.
cleric, would I know a better way to get into the gods other than through a person?
Is he cleric?
Make a
Is a
religion check.
cleric?
It says here on my stat sheet that you're talking bullshit because I saw on page 256 of the player's handbook.
The cleric's handbook.
Yeah, the cleric's handbook.
I saw the page of the
The
Holy
Extreme
Bible.
Teen
Said,
Bible!
"New shit is here." Ah, yes.
Make a religion check.
I have this thing called a mobile phone.
Ah, the PDF.
Buckley. It's not something that you've ever heard of an instance of somebody having to converse to a god through another individual. However, you have been aware of individuals who are connected to a god speaking on someone's behalf. Like, you know, a simple layman asking for the favor of a god, and a cleric transferring that kind of... But she reaches and touches the pendant she has on her neck, and it begins glowing with this. And to you guys, because you're not really looking at anything that's actually got daylight to it, it begins producing daylight. And tears begin streaming down her face as it does. And because she's basically in proximity to it, and it's just the light hitting her face. And the other drow, they kind of turn their heads slightly as it happens. The Dragonborn are unfazed and they're all just basically like ready to do good, bad, and the ugly pose of
My eyes hurt like hell because I haven't seen sunlight for 2 weeks.
Yeah, you hurt like a motherfucker right now.
Oh no, he would have seen the light from my sword.
No, real sunlight. And this is not like produced sunlight, this is real sunlight. She just reaches out a hand, Alistair, and cups your chin and your side of your face with it. And in that moment, Alistair's eyes light up. And they light this beautiful gold and silver, sun and moon twisting together.
Damara sort of tenses a little bit because she's like ready for something to happen.
She's ready for shenanigans.
Grunt, very relaxed, just palms her massive maul in one hand and just looks the nearest person and not friend, but
the one person who's the nearest one to you is the one person who is the one person who's the nearest to you is one person who is not afraid of you in the slightest. And everyone else around you is shitting it, but this one guy who happens to be the closest to you is definitely probably the most senior fighter among.
Well, I'm going to be ready just to yoink Ali away, just in case.
And she puts like her hand up to him. There's like Delmara's hand is like hovering over her blade, just like.
And you guys,
it's like if this goes poorly, not everyone in here is leaving with all their limbs.
As long as I'm one of them.
As this is happening, and it takes almost a minute. As this has happened, she begins singing, and it is in a weird mix of Elvish and Celestian. She begins speaking. And it is portions of this you two know, Alistair and Delmara, as a common nursery rhyme.
It's
Parts
a spider.
No, Child of Stars. It's Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
And I'm guessing I'm hearing the other side of it.
Yes, you're able to pick portions of it as well. Yes.
Oh, I was thinking of Ring Around the Rosie.
That's about the plague.
That'd be for the
Actually,
rats.
it isn't, but that's a story for another day.
So to continue, she begins softly singing, and Alistair, his jaw begins moving as if he's speaking, but he's not. No words are coming out. Until a voice unfamiliar to all of you except Alistair begins ringing out, and there is a form made almost of pure sunlight, an apparition, a planar individual, an essence that has been pulled here. It is a figure with simple, there is no, say, direct facial to it. It is just an individual almost made of cloud, but of pure light. Their form seems intangible, and they're basically standing currently between the Green Dragonborn and Alistair. So they're smack bang there. And that individual, for a long moment, is just there looking towards the matron. It looks up towards the body that is left and strong. And it floats up and is almost floating around it, examining it as it happens. And you just see it lifting up the arm, like this humanoid arm of this figure. And you just see a ring, like you see dozens of designs, gloves, and jewelry on her, but just a ring on top of this Loth figure that is removed. And it is a ring which has 3 sockets on it, but 2 of them are empty. Only one is there, and it is this beautiful opaque jewel that is like it is filled with stars within it. And as this is happening, it steps back down, and you all begin hearing a voice ring out through your minds. Even if I did forgive you, the ones above might not forgive you. Looking directly towards the matron. You have betrayed many of our children. You betrayed many of my children. There are some who are currently tied to these noble souls. They could speak for many of our kind. Search for the phoenix and the bear. Ask them for your forgiveness. And you just see it reaching and lifting the matron's hand, and her beautiful, like almost like this kind of silk, long draped sleeve is lifted, and you can just feel this pain she's having as it's being lifted, and a ring is put on it. Should it be noted and forgiven, you will get the other. And the figure just disappears back into Alistair. She pulls her other hand away, and she looks down to the ring, and a second gem appears of this beautiful yellow stone, which is almost as, it's got this warmth to it even as you're close by to it, of the design of a sun. And Alistair, you were fully aware of everything that happened around you at that time. You were not in pain, just the discomfort of not being able to truly control yourself, as you felt a great surge of power flow through you in that moment. She takes her hand away from you and steps away. She motions to the drow that isn't closest to Grunt. My dear
And
child,
raise an eyebrow.
send word, and I want you to do this personally. We must break from the vermin and their dealings. We must break from the Duragar and their dealings should they not be willing to step back into the light. And I want every slave broken from their chains. They are to be given what they need to make a journey. She looks towards you all. Where could I send them? Where would be safe?
I didn't want to interrupt, but did you say the phoenix and the bear?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I've written that down.
Can I have my money back as well?
You will be reimbursed anything you was taken from us.
Sweet.
Master
New
Dwarf,
Grove.
I will show you.
New Grove.
How many slaves are there?
A lot, trust me.
New Grove won't be big enough.
From your small space, Stanji, you've easily seen
New Grove's had a recent attack.
100 or so more slaves amongst you,
There's quite a few.
and there's definitely more than just that.
Send them to the town of New Grove.
I'm sure there's not going to be a lot of room for them, or resources.
They'll find space.
What was the name of the forest with the druid and my dad?
All
Or
for
for
two.
two,
Old Return, yeah.
which is nearby. Relatively nearby.
Deli, come here.
In that moment, you can see that Dell's like having Vietnam flashbacks or something, just like, I haven't heard that name. Oh god.
Going to stab
Should
him.
we tell him about the dragon?
Yes.
Go on then.
There's a shadow dragon lurking down here, are you aware of it?
You speak of the Eternal One.
Nice title.
Yes, Captain.
One given for his distinct habit of surviving where he has no right to. Kivrith. A being banished here long ago for disobedience, punished for their sins. We do our best to avoid his lair, and we have means of ensuring the freed do not suffer as a result. But we cannot stay here if we have no slaves. Provided that a second favor can be delivered, we might be able to. I made mention of them a moment ago. The vermin. Rodents the size of a man. A cruel and manipulative mentality to them all. Sadism and ingenuity of cruelest fashion. They breed and spawn in the hundreds. When organized, they are probably one of the most dangerous things we have ever seen. We do not even number over 100. And our barriers and borders are always contested by them. They claim trade and they claim deals with us. But these are not deals, these are extortions. If you can dispose of their leader, the one who has a will to bind them to him, who is not a vermin himself, you could free my people, and in doing so earn my eternal gratitude.
I'm not really in favor of working for Drow and Duragar, but I'm definitely in favor for Nosdo's extermination business.
I just turn and give a sweep of everyone. Shimmer, Buckley, Nosdo, Dale and Grunt. I turn back and I just say, consider it done.
You whore.
We dealt with them before.
I would first tell you, though, it is a creature who is quite old, who survived from even the first war. Gatecrasher. A behold.
Huh.
I would say this to you before you accept it.
Nah, fuck it. What's the worst that could happen?
It's on the list.
I mean, I
or-
could just do a legend lore on it later. I don't know.
Could you do a legend lore on it now?
Actually, flash recall! Boom! Okay, legend.
He's quite
Hang on,
something to
I
behold.
know this one. Give me a minute.
I feel like he just slaps himself on the side of the head and it's like, oh, there it is.
Well, that's actually what he did on Tiny Chat, so yeah.
Okay, yeah, legend lore.
Force restart.
Vildakish was one of the commanders during the very first war,
Don't I?
where aberrations like mind flayers, beholders, and other otherworldly monstrosities ruled over the mortals, until the gods sent the ancient protectors to save mortals such as elves, dwarves, humans, so on. The giants and dragons were forced to commune and work together on this. Evil and good, dramatic and metallic, all forced to work together. It was during this war that the mind flayers of the enslaving concave, the outer concave as it was called, for they belonged to the outer planes, dug deep into the world of the most northern continent of this land, and found a being they believed they could enslave, force to their service, and use against all. In this foolish nature, you are aware of Vildakish was one of the people responsible for its awakening. But the Tarask could not be controlled by any weak-willed mind flayer or beholder, and it slaughtered all who stood before it. Vildakish escaped that day and fled into the depth of the world, where it has lived and scrounged out a living, forcing generations of under races to its service. At times it has managed to enslave Drow and Duragar. Vermin are its most common servants. You are aware that it is a malicious creature who wishes for nothing more than to force its will upon any who dare question it. But it does not fight alone, and will always have its most loyal and frenzied vermin at its side.
She's just rats.
Question, DM.
Hello, my dear boy.
When a god was speaking in my head and mentioned bear, did I get the impression it meant my bear or a different bear?
Probably meant a different bear.
Okay.
Just make an intelligence.
Nope.
I feel like I know somebody we can ask about that.
Indeed.
It was referring to a bear. And the
Literal.
only bear that you know of, only figure that could be referred to as the bear, considering that it's referring to children of the moon and sun, maybe so.
Okay.
Which does
Just
raise
thought I'd
the
ask since
question,
I'm literally worship the totem of the bear.
who's the phoenix then?
Oh, I know who the Phoenix is.
That's a burning bird, mate.
No.
Hmm.
Phoenix equals fire.
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of elf do we know that likes fire?
Looks at Shimmer.
There,
Yes, the elf
He
known
does
as-
like fire, but he's not an elf.
there are several people that we can ask.
We've got some leads.
Yeah, that's not a dead end, and I know people that we can ask.
So,
Are you willing to accept this task then?
we're gonna go kill some rats. What the fuck? What do we get for it?
We're going to kill some rats and a mind flayer.
Beholder.
Beholder?
Beholder.
Beholder.
Oh, is
Big
that
mind
what it
players
is?
too.
Whoops.
The
Nah.
creature, Vildakish, that was referred to as a beholder. She did say
Oh, I
that
thought-
she
Okay.
declared that it was a beholder prior to you accepting the task, because she basically said it is a beholder, like just to pretense it.
Oh, I thought it was like a big rat thing with a crown on it.
No, you're a big rat thing with the crown on it.
I'm a big dwarf thing. Fuck you.
In our service currently is one of the greater smiths of the elemental planes. Who could craft
Buckley wakes up.
things.
Yeah.
Leans forward.
As soon as you said the word Smith, Nerwin's eyes shut up like, oh really? Challenge accepted.
Not the first time it's happened with him, but every time it does, it's great. It's happened this week like 2 or 3 times.
I just imagine going to visit this back safe and Buckley's doing that thing where he like leans against her. It's like, so, this is your sweet.
So this is your
This is where you,
smithy,
this is where
eh?
you do your work, huh?
It's kind of small. Mine's bigger, better, but you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Boo-boo.
Is it that's
Yeah.
doable
not bad.
for what you've got to manage, I suppose?
So basically, he tries to pull us Tony Stark.
Pretty much.
We could
Does the,
have something forged to a request, or you would have the debt, gratitude, and a favor of the drow, the children of the stars, the Delmara of our people. Yeah, that's what your name fucking means. Deal with
I
it.
know that's what my name means because law.
Drow deli. Bit dry.
It's got roots
I
in
s- I-
Elvish, you uneducated.
What?
It's an elven name.
You know shit, you're an elf.
Yeah, don't.
I sign and see if any of the people pick up my sign language. One of them might speak it. I can assume that this person, this forge master in your service, will be freed as well. Then
They are with us as a choice. They are not forced here. And nor could we force her, should we wish to. She could leave to her own place at any.
Grant nods.
Buckley, the fucking face you find it's a she, like, you were just like,
No, because I don't care. But,
I'll take the freeing of the slaves as payment for this visit.
Shh.
The beholder is a personal goal now.
You have a favour you've just been offered. Take it. You might need it. We'll take
it.
the favour.
We'll take assistance in getting to the bloody thing if we have to fight our way through hordes of rats that will wear us down. I don't very much appreciate that.
That's what Shimmer said.
Target practice.
The vermin are not creatures of particular strength. For one such as you, it'd be more of a concern you run out of arrows before you made your way.
It's alright, she's a bitch, she's got daggers. Oh wait. She's still a bitch. She doesn't need arrows.
well, if we could, maybe visit the smith and procure something before we go to deal with this.
You must understand, I might not, as much as I'm sure your intentions are good, I have just given my entire workforce to freedom for you. If I was to then give you another gift, and you were to depart, that would be a disadvantage.
I'm not saying as a gift. I mean as in, we give you cooperate, or give you possibly the resources or whatever need be for the item that we need. As our friend over there, the weapon she wields would be very useful to us. However, as it stands, she cannot wield it at full power unless we have a certain item.
Are you saying another smith can do a better job than you?
In terms of a smith of a celestial banner, yes.
Haha!
I hold my hand up and I actually clear my throat because apparently I'm actually going to say something, believe it or not.
Great Scott!
Children. Children, explain.
What?
I am the matron. All who are in the city of elven kin are children to me. Be they in their infancy or over 500 years old. I see all as my children. It is why you were not encountered with hostility at our border. Because you have children of the stars and the moon amongst you.
Well, I don't know about you guys, I just want a direction at this point, and I'm ready to start making history.
Why no more children?
We are not a people, as you imagine with elves, who are quite long-lived, who reproduce often. Intimacy is a very important thing amongst our people.
I keep my hand over Nosda's mouth.
God damn it!
Nope. Just gonna.
Literally about to say something!
How did I know? How did I know?
Nope.
Grunt just nods but says one last thing. Be it known that if anything happens to us, you may lose me, one of the last of my people. A people who learnt to break the shackles of biological birth.
That's gone on a fucking tombstone.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Ooh. You're not making a convincing argument, apparently. No! No, Core! No!
But.
No! Slap your hand! No!
As I say this, I just lift up my shirt and reveal the lack of belly button.
Immediately look.
It
I'm
is
only
just
showing my
abs and
belly
no
button.
belly button. Just keeps going. It's nothing but abs.
You get great cheese on those abs.
Cora just messaged
Great
me and
app.
said, should I show her the sheets? Like, here's the manual.
No!
It's like getting an
I
IKEA
do
Your
not
furniture.
know these
kind
secrets
are of
personally,
stone
but
and of giant kin. You are not elves, and you breed differently to us. You can breed differently to us. Your primal and unique ways are not elven ways. We have lost much of what it means to be one of the three children, but we will not lose everything. We must keep some form of morality and decency amongst us, so we keep everything that we can.
Okay, so that way to the rats?
Yeah, what?
yep, I put my hammer on my shoulder. It's like, yep, I'm game.
Vorgrax. And as she says this, the elderly white dragonborn steps forward. You and your companions will show them the direction to the tunnels of the vermin. I know not the true way to Vildik's lair, but I tell you this. It will be a place of arrogant power, and it will be separate to the warrens of the vermin. We call them vermin because you will only ever fight the men. The women are mutated and abused to serve as nothing but breeders. Every core of my being wants to do nothing more than to purge them from this world. If
A
you
rat's a rat.
begin your expedition, I will ensure individuals are in place to provide the necessary distraction that will cause all vermin to do only one thing, and attempt to protect their breeders. And in that time, you can go, I would say strike the head off the beast, but it's nothing but a head.
Poke it in the eyeball.
Which one?
Which one?
Everyone.
Or the big one, I suppose. Do I even know what a
Has no idea
beholder
what this
is?
thing looks like.
No,
Yeah, that's a fair point.
you don't know what a beholder is.
Never mind.
Apparently, it's only a head, but
Poke it in the face.
Do I know
Also,
what
Quite
a
the sight to
beholder
behold.
She does a produce image.
Ugh.
You see
Oh.
a beholder.
is? That's not that big.
Ron's head just sort of tilts. Like, am I looking at this thing upside down?
Googly.
Ugh.
It's not that big.
I don't think it's actual size.
Oh.
It is not. It's easily 3 times the size. It is the ability of the frontal eye to eliminate all magic it sees in front of it.
Not a problem. Does it bleed?
No, big problem.
It
That's the
does.
big problem.
That's a pretty decently sized problem.
Eliminates magic for good?
No, so long as it has its main eye upon you, no
Ah.
magic can be produced.
We've fought similar things before.
So we
Like
stab it in the
of
eye.
cohort.
Yes.
Hey, Alistair.
Hello?
It has teeth.
I know. I noticed. I will be claiming one of those for my necklace.
It does appear to also appears to have plates. Like armoured plates.
You can have knives and forks for all I care. It's gonna die.
Make a shield out of those.
That was kind of what I was getting at.
You can make a religion out of that.
Don't.
No, don't.
God damn it.
The
I know that
Other eye
reference.
stalks do a multitude of different magical effects.
Well,
Anything from a paralysis to a charm to a disintegration. It is a dangerous creature.
cool. I'm gonna try to cut them off as quickly as possible then.
Let's just get Grunt to give it a bear hug.
Grunt's, as you say that, Grunt's head tilts even further, just as if to think, where the
How?
feck is this thing? How is it standing? How does it move? What is this thing?
I'm
Just
missing the
hit
rest
it.
of the image. It's a picture from AOL
The video hasn't.
that hasn't
Sorry,
loaded
sorry,
yet.
sorry, but my picture hasn't fully loaded, guys. What else is meant to be there? No, that's it.
I'm just picturing that head now and a really hench body.
Yeah, and you like you say, hug it. It's like, how would I grapple? I don't even know how it stands up.
If those
I just
are-
imagine Grunt doing like the thing from Hercules with the fucking Hydra.
Yeah, tying it in a knot. Yeah.
Yeah.
If those eye stalks like shoot things, then we should probably try to cut them off as much as we can. That'd probably
Okay.
help.
I'm sure that amongst you, you can discern your tactic with them. He is arrogant above all else and will take any opportunity to throw his power around. If he doesn't believe you are a direct and immediate threat upon his life, as in you are not an actual threat, which I know you would be, he will try to toy with you first. And he will not be alone. He will keep a entourage of the vermin with him.
I think Shimmer refers to them as collateral.
Yeah.
Or
Sounds
bonus
about
points,
appropriate.
depends on his mood.
Acceptable casualties.
Can we wrap this up for effing knack?
It's late.
Yeah.
I wish you good luck. What might I know your group as?
The Dawnbringers plus Nozda.
I'll take it.
Dawnbringers featuring. Not
No, you know what it is? Dawnbringers and Knuckles.
Knuckles.
Dawnbringers and Gatebreakers.
Actually, yeah. So then,
And we shall mash them together into the Dawnbringers.
Dawnbringers with the special guest star, Nozdo Gatebreaker.
Dawnbreaker and become Ash's Maul from SK.
We're not breaking the dawn. We are bringing the dawn. It's a new dawn for the drow.
But
for
he
the
breaks
world.
things.
No,
It's his
we-
thing.
If I say Dawn,
He breaks winds.
Gatebringers.
Gatebringers.
I'll just be here, or in my spectacle.
Very fitting
His
a
5
name
foot
of you
spectacle.
then.
5'10", thank you.
He's very tall for
Fuck
a dwarf.
off, you're 5
I am a
foot
very
10.
tall
He's,
dwarf.
he's from the beginning. He's been very tall for a dwarf.
I thought
Okay,
5 foot
To be
was tall
fair,
for a
he's
dwarf.
practically spherical.
Yeah, he's 5 foot tall.
And about 5 foot wide.
5'10". There are humans shorter than that.
No, he's 5 foot
I'm
tall.
5'11". That's why I'm saying 5 foot 10's a little tall for a dwarf.
No, Nazda has only ever been 5 foot tall.
Yeah, I thought you were banging on 5
Anyway.
foot.
I'm a tall dwarf.
5'10" is taller than me
Anyway.
in IRL.
Yeah.
Anyway,
5 feet tall and he's
Right,
5
folks.
feet wide.
Dawn bringers.
Yes. We are the Dawnbringers.
that was all out of character, so help you all
60.
God. A fitting name then for you to be amongst us. I thank you, Don.
You can just call me Nozda.
And Nazda.
Yeah.
Right,
Go
let's
upon your task.
head off
Be
then.
fearless and
Lead the
true.
way.
Supposed to.
Let's poke some eyes out.
Another trophy for my necklace awaits.
Bograx, lead them.
Is this
And she
within-
goes back
is
to
this
her
within
throne.
a day's travel?
Depending on your fortunes and the navigation of your way. There are many sprawling, interlinking tunnels. Should the right path be found, it would not take. Good luck, Dawnbringers. And that is where we're ending the session.
I'm sitting here like, we have a name?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gave it.
We
You gave
decided
one.
we decided on a name out of character like literally 3 years ago, and it's never come up in game.
I
Until
never agreed
Guan
to this.
Chi. Until Guan Chi. He was the one who asked you first.
Yeah. Cool. So, we'll see you next week then, when we're apparently gonna go fight a beholder.
Whether that
Sounds
would be
like a
next week
good
or the
warm-up.
week after.
Right. Bye, everyone.
See you later.
See ya.
I'm tired.